Forged in fire, we take the throne. Cold blood in the dirt, we sacrifice, we feel the hurt. Metal streams, engines scream in the belly of the machine. Crush it, grind it down. Coal and gulp, we own this ground. Break the stone, tear the sky, in the depth we rise, we climb. Crush the earth, tear it apart. With iron fists, we'll steal its heart. As the Vader scream, all shots roar. We mine the depths, out of war. Watch the gold from black and cold. Dig through the dark, we take control. With steel and fire, we blaze the trail. In the grind, we will prevail. Scream the engines, let them howl. In the blackened earth, we prowl. Mind breaking, forging fate. In the earth, we dominate. We dominate.
Yo, welcome everybody. Today we have a special one today. Today we have the developers on the stream with us here. That's right. We will be playing with them. They'll be answering a lot of questions. It's not typically how we used to do them. We should do them more like a Q&A and things like that, where maybe that sounds a little bit more official. We've kind of been switching over to like a podcast where we just kind of hang out and chat with the devs. So it's not something that's really official. Kind of lets them come in and play with us and have a really good time. And answer a bunch of your guys' questions, right? So today, if you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube Vertical, I'm sorry, to make it easier for the developers, we're going to have you guys make sure that you guys come over to YouTube, the main YouTube chat. You can find that in the NMC Discord, in the content creator sections, or in my Discord. Most of you guys probably already have that link already. Dopey will be posting those in the different chats to make sure you guys come over to the main one if you guys want your questions answered by Christian, the developer. And I think we have the other Christian as well, too. Maybe answering some of the questions also. Today is just a chill day, guys. We're just, like I said, we're just relaxing, talking about some of the stuff that's came out. The last time we did this was like February, so we just had a couple major things kind of come out. The dev team put out the 2025 roadmap, kind of what they would like to get done during the year. So I figured it was kind of fun to have a follow-up. It was really requested by a lot of you guys. You guys are like, when are you guys doing another podcast? And I was like, you know what? I don't know. So here we are. We're here today, and it's a nice special day. Hopefully you guys are viewing okay and everything's all right. We'll get in here and chat with these guys in a second. Just a couple quick notification reminders. All donations and stuff like that today, all the notifications and stuff like that are turned off. We're here to focus on just hanging out and chatting with the devs, and nothing really any more than that, right? So we're just chilling. So whatever you guys can get out of them, that's up to you guys in the thing. And can we first give the devs a massive applause? Yes, no doubt. So we'll be jumping in. I just want to get the whole YouTube thing and stuff like that going today. Like I said, we're just chilling, digging, playing. We have Christian in the excavator back there, and we are running the bench lines today. You guys have been watching us do the thing. So sorry I could not get a lot of you guys in here and playing. We are obviously limited to 16. So we just kind of, went and just started rolling the numbers down the list here today. You see a lot of a couple new players with us. You guys see there's a couple streamers with us. I'd love to give them their shout outs. The Kizzy is over on Twitch. You can find him over there if you guys want to watch his view. Make sure you guys go over and send him some love. I believe Oregon Tree Gaming, which is a guy I literally just met the other day on YouTube. Really cool dude. Make sure you guys go over and check him out on YouTube. And I think there's Velcro Gaming said that he dabbles a little bit in content here and there. Make sure you guys show them the love. And if you guys didn't make us in, make sure you guys let us know you guys want to be a part of these things. Things like that. Send us out the things. We'll try to get you in on the next one. But for now, that's just the guys we brought in today. There's no rhyme or reason for it, so just hit us up for the next one, and we'll try to get you guys settled out here. So okay, yeah, there we go. Dopey's posting the links here to these guys, as well as if you're not in here today and you're a content creator and you guys are out there, a lot of you guys will enjoy watching the content lately for Out of War on all the guys. If you guys know any Out of War content creators, go out there and hit them up. Hit that like button. Be like, yo, what's up, Dirt Nerds? We love the content, and spread that love to all the content creators out there. There's another one in the chat right there, Mr. Hawkmed Gaming Man. Make sure you guys go show these guys some love, dudes. Hit that like button. Spread this game's awesome, man. It's pretty. It's kind of getting a nice little boost. So, all right, enough of the whole YouTube spiel stuff. Let's get in here and start playing, hanging out with the devs. So, get going on. We got everybody in the chat today. It's a pretty big one. We have over 17 people in the chat here. So,
yeah.
What's going on, everybody? We're here. All the YouTube intro stuff is over with for now.
Hello, hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
Christian, can you go ahead and say something? Make sure chat can hear you okay. I want to make sure we can get your voice right, and right is good. So
I can say something.
there we go.
Or that depends which Christian you're
True.
talking to.
We can get both if you want. If you guys would like to restream and stuff like that, you guys are more than welcome to. If you guys are content creators out there, the more exposure we get to this game, the better. It helps everybody, and everybody benefits, including the game. So you're more than welcome. You don't have to worry about any of that type of stuff here with the channel. We don't, not going to get anything weird going on. Okie dokie. Any questions in the chat, guys? Feel free. I don't think you guys really have anything that you're not really taking questions for, right? I guess if you can't answer it, you can't answer it. So
yeah.
Cat's kind of quiet today. Let them roll in. It does take a little bit when the things start. It does take a take a little while for people like, what's going on today? So this is the first time, Christian, you've been on. I think the last time we tested it over almost it's coming up on a year now, right? Or not a year, maybe like what, 9 months? We had 12, right? Then 8, then now 16.
Which Christian are you talking
Oh, sorry.
to?
That's it. You're getting called T-Bone. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're referring you to that. Sorry, bud.
Yeah. So for clarity, we both devs are named Christian.
One's with a C, one's with a K, or both with a C.
Yeah. No, we do spell differently, which is a blessing.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome everybody today. We still have people spilling in, so it's a climbing, so we'll just kind of give people a second here while we're just hanging out. Yeah, the old Q&As, it felt too structured, to be honest. Like I much more prefer just a relax, chill, play and dig vibe of this than like a structured Q&A where we have like a certain set of questions that we're going for, and you know, a little like it gets a little robotic sometimes. So it's nice to just let people come in. Sim Game Matt says, what type of cranes will you be looking to add to the game?
I think my internet took a nosedive. Can you say that again?
What type of cranes will be added to the game?
So I think we're gonna add mostly crawler cranes, but we also have some wheeled cranes. There's gonna be all types of cranes, but the cranes are most likely coming with the drag lines.
Oh, so yeah, you guys are gonna kind of lump certain classes together.
Yeah. I
Makes
think
sense to
so.
all the cables at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last time we spoke
And
to you
usually-
in February, you guys were like, I don't know, the roped vehicles are kind of hurting a little bit, so.
Yeah, but yeah, we've been focusing on the production and the plant stuff for a while now, so, and all the UI and translation stuff and all that, all those things.
Yeah, that was a pretty big undertaking. And you think you started that right around December or a little bit before December?
Yeah. I think I started that on the Christmas break with the UI redesign.
I guess I have something that I guess maybe you might be able to make an announcement on that. How would you guys like the community to handle the translations? What is the best way for you guys if people want to get in touch with you with doing the translation stuff, or you guys can be doing something in Discord, or another. I've had a lot of questions about translation work and help. So, what would be the best way you guys, from you, the developers, how do you guys feel about that?
Just reach out in Discord, because we are using the community at the moment. We have certain people that are acting as localization volunteers for us.
Yeah, a lot of games use their communities to do that. I know a lot of people from Poland have been getting a hold of me, and I pretty much just said, talk to them, right? So,
Yeah.
I know that's a lot of thing, and being able to play a game in your native language is really important to people, right? It helps you feel a little bit more immersed into the game. So,
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely are going to expand on more languages in the future, but we just have to sort of get this set down first and sort of solidify everything, and then we can keep expanding. Because we have had a few requests on more languages.
yeah, I've seen. I'm gonna butcher his name, and I'm so sorry. Roger? Call him different things, but he's a Polish streamer. Seems like a really cool dude. You guys are over in that part of the world. Make sure you guys hit him up. Go over there, and like I was saying, to all the content creators worldwide, hit him up with that like button. Smash their like buttons. Leave a comment on their videos, and help out, guys. There's a lot of people from all over the world now that are playing Out of War. The game has almost doubled since we did the podcast in February. The last podcast in February. So it's great to see everybody out there playing the game, making content, and promoting the game, and all the new players, right? We have many new players, and welcome to everybody if we haven't caught you on the streams or in the Discords or anything like that. So, there we go. We're getting some questions rolling in now, guys, so just have at them.
Yeah, I saw something about a long reach excavator. Would you, Christian, perhaps want to answer that one?
I probably
T1.
can. Yeah. Well, it's kind of in progress, I guess. It's waiting to be implemented into the actual game. So it's getting there, kind of on hold due to all the production stuff that's been going on for a while. So yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, it's textured and done. It just hasn't been added to the game yet. Because we sort of can't be everywhere at the same time.
Yeah, kind of limiting when there's big projects going on. So yeah.
Yeah, and we really don't want to be touching everything at the same time, because if there is a weird issue that arises, we have absolutely no clue to find where it actually came from.
Been there, done that.
Yes, we have. So would you guys say it's easier for you guys to add, with your background, add equipment to the game, or things like the production system?
Equipment for sure, because with a long reach excavator you don't have to figure out everything ever that you ever built before, and how everything should connect with everything, and how it should work, and how it should function with upcoming stuff and all that stuff. Because, for example, a long reach excavator would just be an excavator that has a longer arm. So, yeah.
Yeah, once you get all your main mechanics and stuff like that in place, it's just easy to kind of copy over. It's just the models and rigging them and stuff like that, right? So that's I think that's, for me, that's a big saving grace for this game since I've been playing, is that I know that the equipment is in good hands, right? And I think that's what a lot of people worry is, will there ever be a lot of equipment? I mean, I think you guys already have a lot of equipment as it is, but I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good case. It's a good spot to be in. Because where a lot of games lack in equipment, you guys are hammering it. So
Yeah.
Yep. Is anything you guys see on the
And as we
chat?
showed. I saw something about the asphalt. The asphalt is getting more reworks to it when we can finalize some stuff there, so we can get more uses out of pavement. And I think we're gonna make it so that pavement is indestructible. So it's basically like rock. Do we have anything?
Sorry.
Have Nico Walters. When can we expect the trains that are teased in the roadmap? Do you have any like rough ETA or order wise? I know you guys don't give dates anymore for great reasons.
Yeah, the trains are still like a longer way. Like that's a bit of that's something we just see on the horizon. But that being said, the trains might be one of those things that I feel are relatively easy, which might be a mistake from my side to think that way. But
Might be.
yeah,
It could just be like, oh, this is so nice, it's so smooth, or it could just be pulling out as much of your hair as you possibly can.
I've got worse feelings for the cranes, to be honest.
Yes, I'm pretty much just camera boy today.
But something I've seen in chat that they're asking for is the production, the manual production. T-Bone, do you want to fill us in on that one?
Maybe it's better if you do it.
Okay, sure. So basically, I've been pestering T-Bone about some stuff that I want to hint in the next Friday news, because I want to get it textured before before I showcase it. But we have a lot more automatic stuff coming that you can keep building the plant. So basically, the plant doesn't end with the ore.
Oh, so along the lines of the crafting stuff, or is it just actually production based through the plant? Because we were all kind of reading that, trying to figure that out as well too. Like, are they meaning crafting, or are they meaning the production off the plant based?
It's going to be conveyor based. But the small smelter is going to keep being a small smelter, and then you're going to get a big smelter.
Oh, you heard it. You heard it, boys. There's a lot of people that are just sitting in their chair going, "Yee."
Yeah. No, but and the same goes for like, obviously no, if you have like steel mills and stuff like that, you know that there's more need for electricity and more need for bigger power and stuff like that. So all that is going to follow suit as well. But yeah,
That'll help a lot of people
I
out.
forgot? Yeah.
The single players for sure. I know one thing that when we're talking about it during the streams, when we're streaming, and everyone's like, I hope it's, some people want more hands-on productions, some people want automation, and it tends to seem like the single player players want a lot of automation. That's fully understandable, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are playing this game. Not everybody plays multiplayer, and we have to make sure they're looked after, right?
Yeah.
whether, you know, some people want it this way or some people want it this way. Some people want it super realistic, and things like that. The main thing is that you guys build the game the way you want it, and you guys have always had a really good feel of the community and what people seem to be liking. You guys have been directing it, kind of seems like based upon that, right?
Yeah,
you
but
guys
it,
also
it feels like a natural step for the production as well to just grow into, so we can add stuff that basically makes you want to keep building your conveyor lines further and further. And to produce stuff.
Havoc in the chat says, so we'll need nuclear power plants to run all these. That's funny.
Yeah, in the future we would like nuclear, since we already have nuclear in the game.
Project Plowshare.
But expect Chernobyl as well.
You have it on slow chat today, so that way we can get to make some of these questions so they don't go zoom. So sorry, chat. We gotta make sure we can get your questions a little bit. Something that was requested off the last podcast and stuff. So
I've seen somebody in chat ask for power poles with no limit. No limit power poles isn't something that is coming, I think, because that's part of the gameplay mechanic, that we have some limit to the power system. Shit.
it amazes me seeing 16 players working in the game at the same time, considering how far multiplayers came.
Yeah, considering it wasn't coming at all.
Yeah.
At the start of the game.
And the questions always are, can the game even handle more than 8? Is it, you know, blah 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 blah, and it's honestly been very there's been some quirks and stuff like that we've had to kind of overcome, but like I said, you guys are so busy, like I've been trying to tell people, this is something on the side that we're doing that we don't want to interrupt your guys' workflow. You know, we're logging it, cataloging everything, and that way we can give you the information. This is also another big step part of that too, is having Christian come in and play while we have 16 players in, as well as people from all over the world. We got people from Japan, Australia, all over the United States, Canada, Europe. It's, you know, so it's great to see how it handles everything, right? So, you know, that kind of, I guess you could talk about dedicated. Probably, I've seen dedicated server a lot in the chat, so I know it's a really big topic. Do you guys have anything about that, or
No,
still kind of one of
it's
those?
First and foremost, we're gonna have a working multiplayer, like fully everything settled there. Then we can start to look at that.
Yeah.
Because like I've said before, before we start cramming more stuff into the game, now we have to make sure that everything else works the way it's intended. Because now the puzzle pieces are starting to be there, so now we just have to make sure everything fits together and plays nicely. Then we can start adding more stuff to it. Yeah. Driving an excavator, reading chat and talking at the same time is rather hard, actually.
Yeah, that's why don't worry about the speed of your digging. That's why I figure we just stick you in there, and if you need to just stop digging and focus on the questions, feel free. Like they say, we'll just give them some ambience background. It's like I said, I don't want to do the Q&A podcast like where it's like the more like we did in the beginning, where it was just me and you, and we'd be going over all the new things. We'd only be taking questions about that. It's your weekend, man. You know, we all understand that. Everybody in the chat understands. You know, we're just throwing some ambient. I'm just drone boy today. Or just kick back, relax, have some coffee, and just chill out, right?
Yeah.
So whatever you want to answer, however
we
you want to
can-
play, Dig, good to go.
Yeah. Remote controllable power inputs, power switches would be great. Yeah, that is something we also think would be great. And I think we will be making more and more automation as we go along. Because we obviously like programming stuff, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure. I want to say stuff, but I don't want to like trigger chat to just start spamming hype, you know? So that way the questions don't disappear for you.
Yeah.
Last thing we want is like, no, buried all the questions. Good job, Split. Bad host.
Ooh, this is an interesting one. As developers, when did you make your first game? Is this where we should say that Out of War is actually our first project? I think we had a few projects before that didn't actually go anywhere in different engines that were just. But it wasn't. Like we didn't do games, we did mods. That was our biggest thing. Was it in 17 we started, T-Bone?
We started in end of 2018, I believe, with modding.
Oh yeah, for FS19.
Right.
But then I've already modded for. Did you mod for FS15?
I started in 17.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I did stuff for FS15 as well.
So I have a question based on that. How do you guys feel your transition going from being modders to developers? How do you think that's going for you guys? You guys, I mean, we've seen as the players your growth curve, but from your perspective, how do you kind of feel that?
Well, where we are now, I'm very happy with it. But I don't know if I would recommend it to anybody else because it's it's a steep learning curve. And you're used to making one vehicle for a game, whereas now you have to have like I don't know how many vehicles, and then you have to build everything around it. Like, and it's the stuff that you really don't think about, like the control system. Just everything around. You have to have like all the licensing, all that stuff, and like it's yeah. But overall, I think it's gone great. But it's yeah.
So you would say,
It's
from what you're kind of saying, so what you're saying is more like the business side is the more harder side of being developers versus just being like a modder where you're only working on one thing.
well, as a modder would be like building your like renovating your room back home at your parents' house with their money, while making a game is like building a hotel while from scratch with your own money. So yeah, that's the difference in the challenge. And then for us, we basically built a hotel while the people is still while we still are renting out rooms, since we got players while we're making the game.
We're a bunch of rowdy tenants, that's for sure.
Yeah,
My
no,
toilet's
but
clogged. Fix it.
no, but it's for sure been like looking back at it, it's weird that we didn't give up. But yeah.
Oh, you guys definitely kept chugging
think-
through, and I think for me, I'm so long, right? Like the beginning, like
Yeah.
there was that time between October to March of the first year that you released, and it was rough. You know, just being honest, it was rough.
Yeah.
But when you guys came out with that March patch, I think when Darksider came onto the team around that time,
Yeah.
you guys started making really big changes, and I think a lot of us players really noticed that. And it just slowly kept growing. Like I've been saying, this is a grassroots movement type of game from the very beginning, over 2 years and some change. This October will be what, 3 years?
Yeah.
And we've noticed your
Yeah.
we've noticed it. We honestly have. We've noticed your guys's change as a company to we can tell your guys' development style is starting to kind of show itself, and you guys also too just got, I think, 2 new employees as well that are helping with the game.
Yeah. And we're looking to expand even more as well. So yeah, that's nice.
That's good.
Um,
And we're glad you guys didn't give up and you guys have been able to and continue, because the game's been amazing. It's been fun for me. It's been fun to cover. A lot of content creators I talk to say that they really enjoy covering it because big things happen all the time, quite frequently. And you know, whether or not they might not be fully polished when they come out, but I think a lot of us are starting to understand that, you know, the way you guys work, and that's important. I think kind of talk about a little bit, is that not everything's going to come out 100% perfect, and it's could be subject to change.
yeah, now a lot of the times for the first iteration of stuff, we just have to like test waters and see what you guys actually think of the stuff before we make the finalized version, so we don't end up spending a ton of time on something that we just aren't gonna use, or that you guys have way better, like, oh, this is how it should have been, and we get that feedback and like, oh yeah, they're absolutely right, let's build it that way instead.
And it's awesome that you guys are flexible like that, right? So you can leave a little flexibility, and like we've talked about in the past quite a bit on the podcast, is that, you know, if you make something
Yeah.
if you spend 3 months making something and then it ends up being completely horrible and you have to completely change the whole thing, is it better to release it as like a concept first, or is it better to do the full completion? Which way do you have the best amount of time completed? And some people are like, well, I wish they would just work until they got it done and it was done for good. Sometimes that's not the right way to do it when everything's kind of, not all the puzzle pieces are there yet, right? So if you finalize something and
No.
it doesn't work out completely, you kind of wasted your time in a bit. So that's, I like
Yeah,
that you guys
like-
do it that way. The iterations are quicker as well too.
Yeah, way quicker, and they get finalized way faster as well with the community's like feedback. But yeah, and a lot of stuff we also have to like look back, and the dosers are a good example of stuff, of something that it was good that we took a break from trying to fix, because now we learned so much more about the physics that now when we get to it, we might actually get them really, really good, like how we intend them to work. Because now we have the right employees that knows. We basically learned how everything works in the back end, and we can build it better.
I think a good example of that is the dirt.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
the dirt was a huge battle back and forth for you guys. You know, which way you're going to take the direction, but then you guys are like, okay, you found out a new way to do it. And that's what we have now.
Yeah.
And then we've even seen improvements on the dirt with even the last update, the 1-to-1 with the loader. People didn't maybe realize that
Yeah.
the loader was so overpowered. Because the dirt was like what, 1 to whatever, it would fill the truck in like a couple scoops. But now it's much more appropriate.
Yeah, and it was actually, there were lesser changes, but it was actually affecting all of the vehicles to some degree. But yeah, now it's way, way, way closer to how it should be.
And if we're missing any questions in the chat, feel free to post them again, guys. It's okay. Get to him as we go. He's also trying to play and stuff like that as well. Some things might not be answered, so if it gets skipped over, just remember you can always, if something was missed, you can always go to the NMC Discord as well and post your questions in there. And they do a fantastic job at answering questions and stuff like that. So
yeah. And if you have a question you really want answered, I would recommend you not to answer it. Ask it during work hours for us, because that's when we actually are most likely to answer it. Because otherwise, if you have bad luck, then you might actually end up asking it when we're busy doing something else. Or just ask it again if we don't answer.
yeah, absolutely.
About drilling, we are coming out with a drilling update, which is going to be really, really fun, because it's going to be the first. The drill is on its first iteration since we launched the game. I think, or it's close to it at least. And what we have in the works is actually based off of, like, we have 2 real life drillers that have told us and showed us how it works. And we got brand new models for everything and all that stuff. So that is going to be really, really fun to see how that actually works when we get to that.
And I think you said the last time on the drills that we're gonna have the deeper core drills. So are you guys gonna be coming out with a mapping, or if we drill a hole, we'll be able to look at the map or anything like that, or if that's anything you can say right now?
I don't know, but I think that would be cool. So hopefully.
So first
What
iteration,
we are coming out with.
yeah. First iteration will be just the equipment and things like that, and then you'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know at the moment. The only thing I know at the moment is that I'm gonna fix a ton of stuff with the vehicle systems coming up. Like fuel and stuff like that, that are desperately in need of a back-end rework. I saw some question about cruise control and well, cruise control, that's coming. That's something you've been asking for a while.
These guys in the chat in the game playing with us trolling on halts. Does anybody have a question that's in here playing with us right now that you guys would like to ask Christian? While we have him here and you guys are in the chat. While Christian looks at some other questions and maybe T-Bone as well.
Are we going to, in the future, get permanent roads we can drive or transport goods to and from different areas?
That's been up for discussion. Because something we feel that we are really lacking is a proper map. Like, we have maps, but we would like some sort of more, so you don't start from zero in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I can't really answer that because I simply don't know. The problem with permanent roads is that I hope that the players don't feel like we ruined what's great about the game, like that you can dig everywhere. Even though we're gonna keep the open maps. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, let's face it, some people are going to hate on anything no matter what you do. So
Yeah. But we can't. We don't want to just lose
yeah,
what the people feel are great about the game.
I think there could be an easy compromise with that as well because the maps are so large. I don't think I've seen anybody in this game ever use more than like 1% to 2% of the map.
Well, you can't because of the save size. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So I think I think that's kind of the compromise. I mean, also, I guess from reading in the chat and just taking mental notes, a couple of people's questions were like, are we ever going to be able to buy parcels, like chunks of the map, so we have ways to spend our money? I think a lot of those things fall into the same question, right? With what Wasey just asked, with like preset roads, like preset towns for like quests and environment, so you aren't just dropped into a world with nothing. I think, like, and chat can correct me wrong, but I think that the world is so big that there's more than enough area for openness for the open players. I mean, I've scoured the whole internet and I've never seen anybody that would be an open player be worried if it was not abruptly just right through their area, right? Like, so, I mean, if you guys really planned the roads around the mountainsides and kind of stayed away from certain areas, you could probably get away with it. Make the general players happy that maybe just want to come in and play as a truck driver, or maybe just want to do this specific task for somebody on their friend's multiplayer save. So it's not just, well, I don't know how to run an excavator, or I don't know how to run a this or that, and they don't feel excluded. So they, but I know a lot of the pure sandbox players, and I agree with you on that too as well. So it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
we can always just keep the sandbox map. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'd always just put nothing in, right? But for those,
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that I notice lately is with all the new players coming in, which there's a lot, is their biggest concern is I just feel lost because there's nothing.
Yeah.
And like I've been trying to say to the people that play the game or in the chat, is the game has to feel welcoming. You have to sell copies. You have to appeal to a wide audience, and that's going to make the game grow. You guys get more income, more people are playing, right? So yeah, you can always just keep the pure sandbox maps, for those players that want to do everything themselves, because it is awesome. People have made beautiful projects.
Yeah.
Would it be heavy on resources to put up an unpopulated map and a populated map?
No, I think we can manage that actually.
Mainly just designing the map a standard, almost one standard map that has, areas you can purchase. I would assume. But like you're saying, that's down the road, right? Like you guys still got a lot of features to add and things like that, right? So that's a lot of down the road type of talk, a lot of hypothetical talk. And I guess with saying that, I want to make sure that there might be a lot of new people watching. When we're talking about a lot of things, it doesn't mean that it's coming right away or it's 100% coming. We're just enjoying chatting about the game and theory crafting and hypothetically talking about the game. So take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt type of thing. So don't just run out and go, well, it's coming because they said it on the podcast and things like that, right? So we're just trying to have fun, hang out and chat and kind of have that atmosphere of the game, right? So
I've got a question from Dopey, because she will tell me off if I don't ask it.
Walking
Custom
away.
colour suits, aka purple.
Purple color suits every podcast, purple color suits.
And trees that fall down correctly.
Since it's Dopey asking, I'm just gonna say no.
I want a purple one too, though.
I want pink.
Oh, well, cause I just don't want to look like a prison chain gang. Okay, that's all I ask. Like,
why? We already got orange jumpsuits.
Yeah, it's perfect. No, but we have on the to-do list, we have the T-Bone, do you know what it actually says on the features that are coming?
I don't remember actually.
So I think it says gear.
But does it
Yeah,
say yeah, because
yeah, that's it probably. Yeah.
yeah, we have plans for so you can actually customize the avatar.
Company logos on equipment.
Yes, that's also one of the things that was planned way back, but somehow got lost in the scrolls.
I was like, I could have swore I heard somebody tell me that when the next gen equipment was coming out, it was coming out here, you know.
Yep. And then somebody's to-do list was a bit too big, and then it fell through the cracks somehow.
It just slipped right through the dump deck, huh?
Yep.
Which is a great change,
maybe
by the
it's-
way.
Yeah, I hope you like the dump deck. It cost us some headache to actually add in.
What I like is people not telling people to put grates over the top of their things and then wondering why no one's getting materials and then reporting bugs because they're not getting anything in their water.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, my wash plant doesn't work. It's completely broken. Well, you put a grate over it. Material doesn't pass through that. Somebody told me it did.
Yeah.
So that was a
we
great
should
one.
really. Yeah, but we should really rename the grates to, or the mesh to rock protection barrier or something, because that's what it is.
Question on drilling. Are you going to do an advanced type of drilling, like drilling and blasting with AMFO or something, so you can do an entire bench?
I'll pass on that question. I don't know. I hope so. But yeah. It all depends on how well behaved the drilling is when we get to that phase. But for once, we've actually done some quite extensive research, because drilling is one of the things that I haven't actually been doing myself. So that needed a bit of looking up. Oh, shit. Are there plans for logging equipment? T-Bone, do you want to take that one?
Well, I guess most of you will know where we came from, so logging part is very likely to happen, I guess.
Whenever those trees come in that Dopey's asking for.
Yeah. Yeah, but logging is where we came from, and it's in our heritage. So yeah, it's a question of when.
Now you're speaking my language.
Not tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow. That's. We got a few things ahead of us before.
Like like item physics and stuff like that, physical objects in the world. It seems like it might be an easy thing to do, but realistically, it's kind of a pain. It is definitely a But once you guys get it and you get a handle on the physics of all those things, I think you guys will nail it, because like I said, you guys have done a great job on the equipment, like you talked about earlier, and a lot of these guys love your mods throughout the years for the logging. You guys are very well known for it. See, I didn't know where you guys came from, like your roots, so I just asked everybody in the chat all the time, like, how did these guys work? And everyone's like, oh, their mods are great, like they're like one of the top people, right? And Yeah, but you guys haven't been really active since you've started developing, like in what 22 or 20, 25, right?
Yeah, no, time just doesn't exist to do both.
Yeah.
I think I've used some of your mods and not even noticed.
Yeah, we have a good bunch.
I used to
Yeah.
love logging on Farming Simulator.
Oh, yeah, then most likely you've used some of the things at least.
Pretty sure I did as well.
I'm
I have
pretty
a-
well
a-
known for logging on Farm Sim, and I use all kinds of your stuff. The Griffin was my favorite.
Ooh.
Not mine.
Well, at
Oh,
the time, I
yeah.
was on console, and the only way I was able to pull log trailers up the hill on some maps like Homeworker 22 or the Homeworker the original was by the NMC Griffin.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Was Holmåkra the closest we ever came to making a console map?
Yeah. You helped the other Swedish guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for context, we didn't make it, but the guy was a very close friend of ours that made it. So we helped with some stuff on it.
You guys got a
Definitely
really,
use-
really rich history of in this style of the simulators. It's good. It's good to see. I'm saying that I've been trying to say for 2 years, like we're in good hands. You just got to give them time to grow as devs.
Yeah.
Just looking through some of your mods now. I definitely used quite a lot of your mods for Farming Sim.
No, we don't need the brony porta potty dozer. Christian does not need any more DMs about me. Trust me. Like,
Yeah.
he already gets enough. He doesn't need any more. I don't need anything in the game special. I just want to play and have fun.
Is a switch to UE5 still realistic by the end of this year? Well, we don't know because there's no point in rushing the engine change until we sort of see that we really need it. Because as long as they can keep improving on it and we can keep building stuff for the game, it doesn't really make sense to, at the moment, it doesn't make sense to switch just now because of what we're working on. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Because most of the stuff will transfer over relatively easy. It's just the main code and the main backbone of the game.
Everything transferred relatively easily except for most of it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's always that you go to click to do the editor and all of a sudden it's just 4,000 errors. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then it's just like one thing that's off and you're like, oh, thank goodness. Or it's like 400 things that are off.
Yeah, but we use a lot of custom stuff for a lot of like the physics and stuff like that. So this isn't just something you move. And we also need a couple of stuff in Unreal 5 to actually work before we can transition. So it isn't up to us as well entirely when we basically we are ready for a move, but
The other parties are not.
yeah.
Yeah, it's always
Like,
it
there's
always
no
puts you in a
point in
it always puts you in a tough position, right? When you're waiting on other things.
Yeah, and like there's no point in just switching just to get a fancy new number because then it isn't gonna. We're gonna switch when it makes sense. That's just. That's basically all I know, so I can't really say anything more.
Well, we
I've
hope all
seen some
those.
question on.
Go ahead.
I've seen some question on underground equipment, and yeah, there are more underground stuff coming.
guys are moving a lot of material right now.
No, we're at 5.5 million of dirt sold.
You guys got $5.5 million in dirt sold already.
I just need more trucks.
Third says, what about the drag lines? I can jump in a truck.
The drag lines, yeah, pass on that one. I don't. Those are a bit fiddly with the cables. So we'll see when I get. Basically, you need to have a perfect day before you start work on that, because those can ruin most of it. Those have a tendency to ruin your day quite fast.
And if you probably end your day with the drag line, you're probably choosing violence the next day when you wake up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wake up and chose violence today.
Yeah, you have to space the work out so you don't do is it Fallout, the movie is called? I don't remember, but the movie about where the office guy just gives up and goes GTA style.
Yeah, I can't think of the name off the top of my head either.
What was that
I know
called?
exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Chat will help us out. Come on, chat. Help us out.
Is it Wanted?
Well,
Michael Douglas is in it, I believe.
I think so. Well, that's the one I'm thinking about is.
The one where he has the RPG.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Falling Down. There you go.
Falling Down, yeah.
Falling Down,
yeah. Classic movie, great movie. That's what was Christian's. That's why he really had to put out multiplayers, because he was about ready to go Falling Down mode. People asking for it.
Yeah.
I remember when you first started Out of War from the other project, and I was like, "Get ready for the question. It's coming. You'll see it all day, every day."
Yeah, and we were like, "No, it doesn't matter whatever people say. It's never gonna be multiplayer."
I remember the day you told me.
Yeah.
I was like, "You know how hard it's gonna be for me not to say something, right?" Like it's.
Yeah.
Like I sat there, I was like, I just bite my lip every time. I was like, "Oh no," because it was like 6 months. I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah.
People are gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
And look at where it's at now. Crazy, man. Great job, dudes.
Yeah, it's been growing. Do you have any plans to make it easier to play stuff? Yes, we have. This has been an internal discussion for a while. So yeah, that's coming. Sooner than later, I believe.
I think you're full. I'll go ahead and move into your place there, Orchid.
What about Steam achievements? Steam achievement is one of those things that I wanted to do for so long, and I keep my to-do list keep growing with other stuff that just sort of is more important. So yeah, it's coming, but we can't really prioritize it over stuff that's not working, I feel.
About the dedicated server, guys, anybody that's new that's coming in there, they would like to get a lot of the other multiplayer things working first. Before they do that, we had that question quite a few times here today, so just gonna help out a little bit with the question load. What's if you guys can say, because I know you guys said it's kind of like up in the air. Any plans on what's coming out after the current Friday news? You said something that there was a T-Bone was working on, roughly that the production. That the more along the lines of the next one coming in, or you guys are pretty much still production based right now in power and things like that, right?
Yeah, we're still working on their next update. I think is going to be more automatic crafting stuff, and just the pipelines that we showed this Friday news. And we have to check a bit about the pipelines, so the pipelines actually make sense. Because we have run into some issues there, since we don't have, for example, we don't have water in the game, which is a bit weird. But yeah, I think we can deal with that as well and solve that, so it makes sense. Any plans to bring in a little metal spoon and cups? I hear Split's in for a challenge.
Told you they wanted to torture me.
Well, I still have a bunch of plans for special Split stuff. It's just I can't really, same goes for that. I can't really justify doing that while we have other issues that is actually important.
I got a question.
Okay.
Is there any plan to fix the lag that is caused from digging in the grain layer, particularly on this map?
Yeah. Yeah, it's also on the issues to fix before we start adding fun stuff. But that might be a tough nut to crack, but we'll see. Hopefully we can fix that. I saw a question for you, T-Bone. Any word on a coal plant?
Yeah, well, it's, I guess, in the progress. Still
Is
some.
that in UV?
No, that's, yeah, not.
Is that
It's
still in
some work
revisions?
left. Yeah, I think so. I haven't really had my hands on that one yet, to be honest.
That's still on warnings table.
Yeah, kind of.
So basically it's still at the modeling stage where it's getting revised for stuff.
You guys have been working warning hard lately.
He's so fast, so it's impossible to slow him down.
Yeah, he's a monster, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome, though, man. That's great.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see on my screen, if you look at the stream, Christian, like, from my view, how the name chats are. Like, you can't even see the equipment with 16. It's
Yeah. Yeah, that's not perfect.
Welcome, everybody that's watching here today, guys. We're just, like I said, we're just chilling, having a podcast. If you have any questions, try drop them in the chat. Try to get to them the best that we possibly can here today. Hope everyone's having a great weekend.
Ooh, this is one I want to answer. Will there be antique Steam machines? So I'm fairly sure that we have actually collected reference for future machines that perhaps 1 in 100 have actually no exist, even if you're a deep mining nerd.
Oh, we like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can have a save that is just old school, Oh, I'm down. I wouldn't even mind just having a push cart
Yeah.
do a mine with a pickaxe. Like,
Yeah, no, but like we have, because they're like sometimes what have happened in the world is where they scrap the old stuff because, well, who wants big mining equipment when it's worn down? Well, nobody. So if it doesn't get sent to a museum, then it gets scrapped. But now we actually have the chance to give it life again, and to give everybody a chance to run it, which I think would be cool. So we have actually a lot of those old stuff that that is gonna come to the game, I hope.
That's making me very excited. The question came from me, by the way.
well, if you guys
Okay.
are in here, you guys can, yeah, you just
Yeah, you
say them
can.
here. You can just say them. You don't have to type them out.
Oh, I was typing them out.
Well, you're trolling with Dopey over there, so you don't count, Teddy.
Rolling with Dopey. I don't know what you're on about.
Sure.
Sure.
You don't know what you're on about.
They're over here colluding. They're tree gang over here. You gotta watch out for them.
No.
Purple jumpsuits and trees. Now they're trying to broker deals over here. Okay, fine. If we're not getting trees right away, can we get the helmets? If I hit someone in the head with a shovel, can it make a clanking sound?
Oh, I don't want that one because Dopey was just there hitting me with a shovel constantly.
How we make people work around here? Smack them with a shovel.
Yeah, I mean, just when we get the basics done, we're gonna add a ton of inappropriate stuff. So
I
that's the same for.
I still remember the ragdoll you didn't tell me about, dude, on my recording day. I had one day to record, and Christian adds
Yeah.
ragdoll and doesn't tell me. And half my recordings, my character's pancaking downstairs.
God,
Oh
you
yeah,
mentioned
wasn't that
yesterday?
I didn't I add that to just a random key?
Yeah,
Just
it
for
was
testing
it
purposes,
was
I
like
forgot.
it was B, and I don't even know why I was pressing B for whatever reason, and I couldn't figure out what was making me die. I was like, no.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, that was hilarious. I was like, Christian, did you add ragdoll? Oh, that's right there. It's B. I was like, oh my goodness.
I've got a question about other machines maybe being added.
Sure.
Belly scrapers.
Oh yeah, that's one that gets asked a lot in the streams.
Yeah, but did we have a belly scraper on the what's coming 2025?
Yeah, actually, I mean that'd probably be a really good topic, a talking point here is about what we saw on the 2025 thing as far as the equipment. I've seen a few questions in the chat, like belly scraper, mobile conveyors, crushers, the wash plant, things like that, right? So I guess we can focus the questions here.
I have a question about the man lift. What do we use it for?
If you're building something, get up higher.
Ah.
It's kind of cool.
Or if you're gonna connect the electric pole wires.
Obviously, somebody who has a field a lot.
Yeah, and like you can reach these poles that you have now, but a transmission tower, you're gonna have a hard time on.
Ginger will like that one, Split.
Cleaning wall faces with a shovel.
Yeah. Ginger would definitely like that one.
That's what I was thinking. Was wall smacking.
That's what we got drones for, with 4 players on them.
Yeah, but like, yeah, the lifts. Well, sure, they use lifts in mining, so I'm sure you're gonna find uses for them as well. They're not that hard to add, so.
Nice, cool little piece of equipment to have in, and people can. Yeah. Especially for those pure sim players, right?
Yeah. Definitely great for RP.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, how much time have we wasted, Split, building scaffolding to build something, then tearing the scaffolding down afterward?
Oh, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. I can't even count.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll really add in the RP aspect of it, right? Like, kind of like the whole dozer situation where it deletes material. It's like, well, why not just use nukes then if you're going to delete it? Because I get to use the equipment, right?
Yeah.
So it's not fully just a creative mode tool. Kind of like, that's how I kind of look at the nukes. Is there more for like the creative players to flatten big areas or things like that, right? Where dozers, I get to do it with a piece of equipment, so I get to have a little bit more fun kind of simulating running dozer.
Yeah, and you get more hours out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get more hours out of the game that way.
They also don't flatten.
Have you given any more thought to adding more building elements?
Building elements is something we've just basically put on hold, simply because we have so much. I feel like the building elements are sort of, they're sort of there compared to everything else that we want to fix.
Yeah, it sounds like Warning's real busy with the equipment and all these other things you guys have been talking about here in the last hour. So, I mean, we also did. It's been a little while now because we got you guys did do the workbenches patch, which had a huge amount of new building pieces and angles and stuff, and then we could also paint everything, and that was a really big update to the game. It was probably one of the things that I noticed that a lot of players played the longest. And now you guys are going to be expanding upon that, like you were just saying, with the automation of these things. That's a topic we talk about almost every stream. So that's definitely hype.
Don't forget to save Split.
Yes, that is true. Let me drop a save here real quick, guys.
And speaking of saving that summit, when's the I know it's come back as saving terraforming lot, but what about when players are joining? It disappeared.
Can you say that again?
You know how when someone saves it comes up as terraforming lock?
Yeah.
You did have it when players were joining. Everyone got terraforming locks, but it's gone again.
So what he's saying is only the host can see it when somebody joins, not the players.
Okay, yeah, you might have to report that because
yeah. I think we reported it. Just
okay, no problem.
It gets buried. There's so many things. It's a lot, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's no chance for me to actually remember if somebody says something.
No problem, good. It's just I'm just trying to remember stuff what's been said in other streams. That's all.
Yeah. Like most of the multiplayer stuff and stuff like that when we do our reports, like Grumpy and I, we generally just go to dark, right?
Yeah.
And then we, so it's like you've said, like the last one, you guys, we kind of know what everybody does now, right? So and then you have the two new guys and so like you were saying, you're more like the main assembler. Now you have this person doing this person doing this, and this person doing this. There's no point in blocking you up if we know that this report should go to this person directly if something's broken, like immediately or really needs attention. But you also have to, you're delegating what they're doing too as well. So the main thing is just being patient and understanding that as far as this is me in my tester mindset, right? To be patient because there's 1,000 moving pieces.
Yeah. A question regarding wear and tear and fuel balancing. That's actually coming very soon. Video footage. Can we get video footage from drone instead of PNGs? No. For the simple answer of that takes more performance. You don't want that, and it's something that most recording software does very well. So it's not something we should focus on, to be honest.
Yeah, we've already Christian and I have already kind of went through that quite a bit in the past, and and I did a lot of stuff like on my own testing outside of the game in Unreal, and it is absolutely murder. And it's, yeah, I would advise against it as well too. That's why, as a content creator, I suggest if you guys really want to do crazy cool stuff, you're gonna need another computer and another account and another game key and things like that, because it is just hell on the game trying to do that.
Yeah, and like most of the solutions we tried as well to get it to video actually triggered antivirus on your PC because it's seen as a bit of shady code. So another reason not to.
It's a great tool. It's a really good tool for looking at things in overhead views and things like that. But yeah, I mean that's one of the things that I wish we could have had you guys put in too. But it's unfortunately, yeah, the performance is just insane.
Yeah. Can we have facility maintenance? With that, I'm guessing the plants and stuff. Yes, that is coming.
Yeah, Grumpy View.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just loading. I see a spinny wheel.
Something we were discussing was the economics, how we want to use the company funds or like the save funds, or if we simply just only ever want the company funds. But I don't think we ever reach a conclusion, so it would be great to know more about what the community thinks of that. Should we only use company money, or should we keep money for save games? For like different saves?
What would be easier for you guys? I guess what would be easier for you guys to implement in a long-term like tracking system?
We have both already, but it's what makes most sense for the players. Because having two different funds at the moment is a bit misleading for new players.
I like the save game one. I do like the company one as well. That is nice, but save game one, like you could do where you've got one save game, you only use small vehicles, so that's its own money. But then you've got another save game where you're on the bigger vehicles, so you're earning more money, so you don't want that money mixing, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I agree too. I agree with
you
that.
get more gameplay out of the company funds, I think. People can
Yes.
play different ways with it.
Yeah, like if we want to do a low horsepower challenge, we can just send all the money to the company fund and start grinding and set our own scenario, so to speak, with the current system.
And what if we had multiple companies, so you could have different companies?
That was going to be my next question.
Yes. Yeah, multiple companies would also be nice.
Yeah.
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 I was just going to ask that, but you beat me to it, Christian.
Now, even better would be if we can send resources from one to another.
Between companies.
Yeah. So if I put a box, like if I put a storage unit out, I could say I want to send this to company A from company B. So if I have a steel company, or if I have an iron mine, I don't need to go mine coal, because then I can have a coal mine on a different map.
I like
something
the
along
idea,
those lines.
Yeah.
Because it would be like
It would lead to some.
You'd have to put a special box where you'd just be sending the unit type number, and it would populate that box or something, right?
Yeah.
I just like what Charles put comment in. You want an ender chest basically split.
Yeah. Yo, he knew what I was getting after.
Yeah, that lets you have that would let you have a coal mine and an iron mine and that kind of stuff, and have multiple scenarios.
Yeah, multiple saves, so that way you're not just building like a super pit, you're building your own little isolated area. So one day you could work on your iron mine, or the next day you could work on your coal mine, or and send it
Yeah.
over. I mean, right now we currently simulate that just by using the company funds. So pretty much it's like, okay, I made this much, I'll sell the coal, take the coal money, and then put it into my company funds, go over to my other map and buy the coal there. So technically you can do it that way already, that way, but
Yeah, but with that we could also, if we have different companies, we could also, since the XP and upcoming like specializations would allow you to have one coal mining company and one like that. So you both have the. But yeah, the question is just how it ties into the saves.
Yeah, that sounds complicated. Transferring items between saves.
I mean, I
No,
guess
I
you
don't
could
think it's that
maybe
bad.
do it like, remember how the Sims used to do it, where you had like a blocked map and you had all your saves, and you had company 1 or built or city 1, city 2, and you had to build the train network over before it would send it to the next save over to the other one. Do you kind of like that in a sense? So it's like, run your train off the end of the map here and it goes to save 2. Train shows up on the other map. I got your
Okay.
coal, bro. I mean, it's
Or
been
maybe
done, but just figuring out.
maybe like even like a tunnel interface or something like that, right? You could run the train into a tunnel type block
Yeah.
that would then transfer it to the other save or something like that.
Yeah, there's
I think
numerous
like
ways to do it. 100%.
Yeah.
It's just what works best for you guys, and does it make sense, right? I mean, we're just, hypothetically talking, right? So it's whatever works well for you guys, and it fits into your time schedule, and does it make
Well,
it
to be honest, if it works well for us, that usually means it's confusing as shit for the players. That's usually how it goes, because the
Facts.
easiest solutions aren't the best. But basically, then we don't have any money. We don't have any accounts for the save in that scenario. Only the company ever has funds or money.
Well, I mean, you still could, honestly. There's nothing keeping you from doing it because most mines have a budget anyway, right? So you have a mine budget, and then you'd have the company budget, which would be above that.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you
'cause you do
wouldn't
have
limit you from doing
Yeah,
that.
and to be honest, that's the way I designed this, because each save is seen as a division of the company.
Yeah.
But then I think what we should do is basically lock each save. So depending on what company you start the save in, that save is then locked to that company.
Yeah.
I think.
Nerd says it's a simulation. It's allowed to be complicated to a point.
Yeah.
It can't be too complicated where people just refund it.
No.
Well, that's the trick with a lot of stuff like this, is to make it simple enough for people to get into it and enjoy it, and then complex enough for people to dig in and really get to the complexity of it if they want to.
Yeah.
You want this feel, Christian?
Immersion and fun.
Thank you. I've
a very good thing
already.
No problem.
Very important, right? Immersion and fun. If you
Yeah.
can pack as much simulation in there as possible, that's what you got a winner.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be a good question. We've seen it a few times. 16 players being added for everyone now that we've been testing it and you've been playing on it. How do you feel?
I can't feel anything. Like it doesn't differ that much from 2 players. The only issue I can see is the one you pointed out, that we have more name tags than we actually have. Most of the screen are just name tags.
And the other thing too, because I haven't fully written up the report for it yet, guys, is that, mind you, my internet, not trying to flex or anything, my internet, my computer is pretty hefty, so we still have to test other variations of that. And I really do appreciate everybody that's been coming in to help out over like the last week or a couple weeks of playing. We're not trying to be greedy and hold it to us or anything like that. We definitely want everybody else to be able to do it, but it's a side thing. You'd also probably have to do some UI work as far as that goes when it comes to, like, you know, warning people like, hey, your computer might not be able to handle 16 players or things like that, right? Because last thing we want to do, like me as a player and helping out, is the last thing I want to do is say, oh yeah, it's perfect, and then somebody else goes and does it and goes, well, it's horrible, it doesn't work for me. Without, you know, so they need to be able to warn people properly and things like that. So
yeah, because the 16 player stuff is just something we're testing, since the game was never meant to be 16. This is just something we
it was
stumbled.
Yeah, it's kind of like a side thing we were asking for, right? So
yeah, we thought it would be great to just add that, because since they are doing a crazy amount of testing on the live streams, it would be perfect to just get a lot of hours into it before we up the limit to everybody else.
Yeah, so if you guys were to be adding it, you know, it would take you just a little while. Probably need some UI work and some disclaimers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. I don't think it would be too far out, but it also has to be in their work, thing. This is a side thing, so just keep people in mind. I know there's a lot of people who are a little upset about it and things like that, but like I said, we're not doing it to gloat over people or anything. There is a method to the madness, and we don't want people to be upset, because upset people are more when it comes to like, oh, my computer doesn't work like that. So give you guys those numbers and get it ready to go. So
I think there'd be more people upset they can't get 16 people to play on their internet connection.
Yeah.
And there is the people worried about doing it at the moment.
Yeah. Now, when can I test 32?
Suddenly feeling very tired and might have to now. Thank you for your time, and I'll be now.
Yeah, no hurry. I mean, it's an engine thing, so I just keep trolling and putting it at 69.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, just gonna put it at 69. You can't go that high, but
no, but we'll see when we can test even more players.
Yeah, I'll be testing a little bit more with this, guys. You guys see in my Discord, I'll just say, hey, we're testing this real quick. I'll put the code up. Just jump in with us real quick, and we get some real quick numbers. Some other things too we were able to test at a really higher level was the quick loading on the bigger saves.
Oh yeah.
Very, very, very good data that we got with the 16 server slots. Or 16 player, peer-to-peer.
Oh, yeah.
Massive improvements.
Yeah.
We don't have like for instance, this map would have probably close to a 5-minute, what we used to call purgatory, where we couldn't do anything after we fetch packets. But now it's like after you fetch the packets, it's like quick. My 150 megabyte save, we loaded into a 16 players the other day. It only took 5 minutes with 16. People joining in all at one time. It used to be 10 minutes per player. So that's why we stopped playing on it and everything like that, right? So massive improvement. And you guys have pushed that live, right? It's just
no.
I believe it is.
I believe it is live. No,
Is it?
not
I
to
believe
not
it's
to
on
live
beta.
to the beta. Yeah, sorry.
It's beta, yeah, but it's not live.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is to beta. Yeah. Charles has a question there for you. I'll have Grumpy answer that actually. If you see that, do you see that question in chat, Grumpy? Yes, Charles. The problem with the deform cap is it's something that's completely out of the developer's hands. His question above, if you want to answer.
Yeah, and when we started, when we like knew of the cap, it didn't really matter because it was so high, because the biggest loader was like, or the biggest excavator was like 50 tons. So you couldn't actually move that much dirt until you got tired of a save.
Yeah. Mine Rescue
we-
series was over 8,400 haul trucks moved as a single player. That could take you up to 4,000 hours. It's really still not big of a problem unless you're playing big maps like this. But we are aware of what we're doing, and it's still a very small percent of the player base. I don't want to scare anybody not to buy the game, so don't get me, like, when I mention deform cap, it's because that's for a big mining operation like this. But you're still going to get 200-300 hours out of a big mining operation like this, and I think that's acceptable for them to not have to really worry about, but it is something later on that they might have to try to figure out how to overcome. So don't let that deter you from buying the game at all. As a single player or just a group of your homies, you'll be able to play for thousands of hours.
Yeah, and it's something we're gonna get removed. It's just one of those things that never was really an issue until.
What?
Like
Sorry.
With, yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, until Split's your
I'm
fault.
sorry, dude.
Yeah.
My bad.
Split, it's always your fault.
My bad, dude.
No, but these sort of issues arise when people like the game.
Yeah.
Before, when we didn't actually get that much players that kept playing it, you don't get those issues. But yeah, I have a feeling it's a rather easy issue to fix once we've fixed all the other save issues, because this has to be a number just somewhere that we can tweak.
I think we've done quite a bit of extensive talking with Dark about it, and he said, he goes, pretty much it's a compression issue, right? Because you're compressing something that's so massive, and
yeah,
the thing is if we don't have to compress it, it might not be that bad. So there might be a few workarounds, but I wouldn't put I wouldn't go out and say it was going to take you some time to kind of figure out which way you want to handle it, I think, is the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, actually, now when you say it, I realize it's not just to add a value or change a value, because I'm guessing the value is set because anything bigger as well might cause the compression to crash.
It's when the compression of the graph happens. I don't want to name programs or anything like that right now, or things, but when the compression of the graph happens, we're getting some nerdy talk for a second. When that compression happens past 50, it goes volatile.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, I know one point I sent Dark some stuff that I found that might help with all that stuff, but I don't know if you ever had a chance to look at it or not.
No, I think Dark has had some other stuff that I've pushed him to prioritize.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
Yeah, because that's this is not a priority at all.
That's still kind of a low-level problem for a few people.
Yeah, this only affects less than 1% of the player base, right? So it doesn't really affect everybody. I'm okay with starting new mines every couple months, right? Like, that's okay. I'm not too,
yeah, but you start new month, but moving this crazy amount of dirt as well isn't that weird either. But But yeah, it's definitely something that's gonna get.
Did Christian just
Gonna
call us
get-
weird moving this amount of good dirt?
We are
Very
dirt
so.
nerds after all, and we do beat up the game pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Maybe you
People
should be
ask
a
me.
Splat.
People ask me all the time, why are you guys just digging a hole and you're not crafting or anything? And it's like, because we're dirt nerds. We just like to move material. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like playing in the sandbox as a kid, you know, and then the next day you come out and put it all back, and then you do it again. Many
And
different
hopefully
aspects.
the neighbor's cat hasn't taken a shit in it.
We were joking about that yesterday. We were joking about that yesterday for like April Fools or something like that. Putting in like a new type of material, stinky cat nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just like digging holes. There's no rhyme or reason. We just like digging holes and kicking back and
And terraforming.
will GPS be reworked to have auto leveling sometime?
Yep. I'm not gonna expand on that. Yeah, it will. Will we raise the price of the game with more content? That's a good question, actually. I don't know. We perhaps should do some more DLCs for those that want those, in the same fashion that we have done before. So it's for those. It's not content you need, but it's content that you might want.
Like the deco pack.
Yeah.
Can you do like a support DLC? You get nothing, but you just support you because you're a good team.
I don't think
We can do that,
Steam
but-
requires. I think Steam requires you to get something in return,
Yeah.
even if
like,
it's an image or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something, but the problem with the support stuff is that some people find it offensive even if they aren't the ones buying it.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, when you released the deco pack, it was just straight craziness in my comments.
Do you have a Patreon or something like that if someone wanted to donate to the company?
No, we actually don't, but perhaps we should put up a serious Patreon for those that really want to.
Yes, please.
To be part of it.
Just to take away any ambiguity over people raging.
Yeah.
Like I've already said, if you can use my likeness in any way in like a deco pack, skin pack for vehicles, you have more than willing to do it. I don't care for any profits or anything. You know, so I know the people that
golden toilet.
I know the people that even they would just have a Splitintwo themed skins for all the equipment. I mean, I know they would buy it just to support you guys. And that'd be, you know, just a skin pack.
Yeah.
Whatever you need me to sign,
we're grateful for
I'll sign it. So
for all the support, but yeah, we have to think a bit about what we do and how it affects the future of everything. So
yeah.
I say if you set up a Patreon, I'll donate to it. I'll support it. It's a really good game. I've lost hours in it. I love it.
Yeah. Now we'll see.
Main thing you guys can do right now is tell your friends, go to the merch page. There's another way you guys can support. Go buy merch.
There's a merch page?
Yeah.
Do they have shirts for super fat people?
Drew, do
I
you
was
guys
just gonna
got
ask
like?
that.
You probably make a lot of money on merch if you guys at least just had a 5x size. You know. So you know,
No.
not
6x.
saying anything really hardcore crazy about most of my viewers, but they like
Wow.
Twinkies.
I would need a 6x.
Charge a premium
Minimum.
for it. T-shirt premium.
I'm yeah. I'm
The
gonna
problem
say
is finding
something.
companies to do it.
I think actually we sold most mediums.
Oh,
That's
I'll
because
buy
you don't
4
have
and stitch them together.
Because you don't have 5x.
you don't have 5Xs.
What about extra small?
A rock truck plushie. Yeah, if you guys want to support, that's a
Yeah.
great way. And you get something, right? You help them and you get something.
Yeah.
Merch is a great way to do it. So if, like you said, and your merch page is on the website and everything?
I think it is.
I'll be right back. I'm just going
Yeah,
to check the
spam
website
that
now.
merch page, guys. Spam it up.
Yeah. Yeah, as you might hear, our focus is mainly on developing the game, not the other part of.
Right.
That's the problem with all these ideas, is it all takes away time from you guys, right?
Yeah, but something I'm very happy about is that we are independent, so we don't have a publisher that's breathing down our necks on how to do stuff.
Dopey's looking for the link right now. She'll when she gets it, she'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, awesome.
I was like, way to support you guys. Wait a minute, you guys have a merch page. That same thing as Patreon. You just get something.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to Google. 2 seconds here. It's always hard to find things on developers' websites, typically half the time. Or they're like super out of date.
Actually, I think our web page is super up to date.
Now that's Tarzan that handles that side of it?
Yes. Nah, he doesn't do that much. It's mostly the gray one that would handle that if anybody does.
Can't find it.
Oh wait, yeah. I realize now that you're when you're saying Tarzan, you're actually talking about Gabriella, not the cat, which is also named Tarzan.
Oh, okay. We just go off Discord names, you know.
Yeah. But
yeah, I'm not too sure what profit margin they have on it, but you know, on your guys' merch. So it's just another way to support, you know. Every bit helps, and even just telling your friends that may be streamers or content creators to play Out of War, even buying Out of War for somebody that makes content that doesn't, you know, all those ways help. You know, there's many ways you guys can support this game in so many different ways. Even just supporting the creators that support the game. There's many ways to do it. People buying and people playing is great.
yeah, and if you like the game, don't forget to leave a review.
I'm still waiting. Dopey won't let me put mine in until she gets a purple jumpsuit.
Understandable.
I have to follow a certain set of rules.
We can handle a negative one as well.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's nice to see the community being so helpful to everybody, right? That's been something I could say of note.
Yeah.
Is we've had some weird stuff go on, but you know, I think that's anywhere, anything. But the main thing is that don't let your passion turn into anger and hatred, right? We all love the game. We all want to have fun. We all want different things. But the main thing is that we're playing the game and the game's progressing, right? And everyone's hanging out, having fun. There's so many communities that are playing the game. Like I said, get out there and support everybody. You know, hit the like button. Whether you want to watch them or not, it doesn't matter. Leave a comment and say, you know, something. Heck yeah, for playing the game or something. Thanks for playing Out of War. Yeah, exactly. It's something. It doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter who it is. Support everybody playing it. Even if you stop in for a second and say, thanks for playing Out of War. You know? Drop a follow and a sub and leave a comment because I know it helps and it means a lot to the content creators. Like I said, we have a few of them in here today. We got Kizzy and we got he's over on Twitch right now streaming. We have Organ Tree Gaming, which I literally just met the other day. Came in and played with us. Cool guy. And then we have like Velcro Gaming and stuff like that that does content here and there. You don't got to be a big content creator. You don't got to do anything. Just have some fun and get out there and make content, right? And get out there and play the game however you want to play the game. You don't got to play the way that I play. You don't got to play the way somebody else plays. You know?
Yeah, and if something you're waiting on, you see that it gets delayed or something else gets ahead of it, there's no need to actually see that as something positive, because that most likely means that either T-Bone or somebody really wanted to include something else in the update, so it basically got put on hold, and like something else just went ahead before it because we wanted to add something more or something we felt that didn't work or something. So we basically just basically it's getting more attention than it would have, than was planned. So yeah.
Yeah, also too with the a lot of people got a little upset that I didn't do a community showcase of their mines. I honestly, guys, I just didn't have the time with my work, you know, testing, trying to record and streaming. Also too, me and Christian really don't plan these out in advance, right? So it's just, hey, do you got time? I'm like, you know, I just ask me every once in a while. You guys, do you want to get on and chat with everybody and just kind of hang out? So
yeah.
It's not like we have these things planned months and months in advance. But I will be doing another community showcase so we can showcase all of your guys' work, and then you guys know how I did do the videos and give all your guys' links out and stuff like that. So we'll try to make sure we get as many of you guys. There's nobody's excluded. All you have to do is message me. That's it. Right? Just message me, say what's up, and just follow the thing just like everybody else. I try not to be evasive into the NMC community because, you know, I don't want people to feel like I'm spamming it up in there. So that's why I tend to stick to my community, but I'll do a better job at outreaching. So that way, if you're not a part of my community, you can still be a part of it. So it just takes time. It takes time to look through everybody's saves. It takes time to, you know, it's a lot of work to look through everyone's saves and find those really great moments. So there'll be a guideline that I put out. You know, leave a drone here, leave a truck here, so I can hop to those things, stuff like that. So.
Split, I would consider you full if I had a horn.
Oh, actually. Yeah. I'm just reading chat too. Like, Move out the way, dude.
Could have just hit his head with a bucket.
Yeah, just tap on my noggin and I'll move.
Yeah, but I do have don't we have horns?
We have horns, but they're on the same audio track as the dirt, and the dirt is really loud for multiplayer.
Okay.
Yeah, so the dirt might have to go. Now that you have other sounds on that slider bar, you might need to change the dirt to a different track. Because when you have this many people digging, it's just all you hear is constant, like, dirt crashing. Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes the trucks just sit there and constantly have dirt crashing anyways.
Like, so that's why I can't hear hydraulic noises or the new tracks, because it's that dirt sounds too much.
Need like a vehicle slider. vehicle, other noise slider, engine, and then dirt.
More options.
But I think there's something wrong with the dirt sound, if I remember right.
It was too quiet in the beginning, then you had to raise it up, then you had to lower it back, and so it's been kind of like fluctuating.
Yeah, but it's one of those ass sounds that, yeah, behaves a bit like it wants itself.
There you go.
So,
Dopey's putting the merch pages in the chats right now, guys. Smash them up, dudes. Oh, T-Bone game. Okay.
Split, they do a t-shirt to 5.
They do? I was just making a joke, but
Yeah.
because that's what everybody complained about my merch. They're like, Split, it needs to be bigger, dude. And I'm like, I don't make shirts in tent sizes. I'm sorry. Like, what do you want from me? Should just make really heavy gaming chairs. Like a fortune.
and that's how we are more inclusive or something.
We help everybody here.
Don't want to fit me though.
Well,
I'm a big boy.
yeah.
We big boy mine and crew in multiple ways.
That's why there's mugs too, I think, in there.
If you can't fit in a shirt, you can always have a mug.
Is there
I may get one.
stickers?
I may get one and just turn it into like a poster from my room.
A wheel loader gaming chairs.
Oh, there's a
That'd
sticker.
be epic.
And there's all kinds of stuff. Like I said, get out there and support it up, dudes.
Ooh, I have one. Gaming chair with tracks.
I've seen, yeah, I've seen other stuff with tracks which I want to have a go.
The sluice box have an output for the ores. The sluice box has its own internal storage. It only outputs dirt.
Yeah, the wash plant has the
Pass through.
yeah.
Oh, and a question from the other day. Filters on storage bins, so they can filter to store a specific item.
Dumping Grumpy, I'll take you back.
That is a future thing that we might add. For
Pretty much what
filtering
we're-
stuff and sorting.
Yeah, what we were saying is maybe something like we just put an ore at the top in the top slot, and it only holds that,
Yeah.
and everything goes through.
Yeah.
I guess that's a question for chat.
Yeah.
How are you guys enjoying the new production system in Power?
I love it.
Everybody in the Discord too, as well. The guys that are playing.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm still semi-new to Outdoor, so I can't really compare it to the old stuff, but so far I've been having a blast. This game's definitely my new favorite.
I'm not in the truck, Daddy.
Oh, my screen you was.
I saw some questions regarding the dozer working as intended. Well, sort of, but not really. Not a great answer to that question. The dozer has problems with it does delete stuff, and we are gonna revise that. But the key in that is to take shallower cuts and longer cuts. Yeah. But yeah, the dozer is getting a rework. In general, everything that surrounds dirt is always going to get updated as we progress and get fancier and fancier stuff. And get better and better.
And we're already starting back on the same strip again. This is $9.2 million in dirt made today. Just dirt, not including anything else.
In 2 hours.
In 2 hours. Normally we're at about 10 million every 3.5 to 4 hours of. Oh, where am I going? Zoned out on chat. Left him hanging.
I was also reading chat, so I didn't even miss you.
You didn't even know I was gone.
I will say we've had like 0 issues today.
Everything's running really smooth.
Yeah, we've got 5 people digging as well, so it's not too bad.
I'm on a green layer right now, so we might have a little bit of issue.
Why'd you jinx it? It did. The other day I woke up and we went to go play, and all of a sudden the game just shows violence. It was like the first 30 minutes was just, oh, hold on, gotta close the game and open it back up. Something happened. But generally, I mean, knock on wood, don't really ever have to really do that very often. So, I mean, it's been pretty decent. Just like the game loves to, every time we do a Q&A, it was, okay, we're gonna show you this new feature, and I go over to show it off, and it does completely the opposite thing. Like, it was like, okay, game, listen here. You were working just fine before we started the stream. Right? Like, why are you doing this to us right now?
Yeah, but it's always the, and like it's
always those little
and
things
like,
that aren't like that crazy.
No, but like, for example, I saw some question about if I got to decompress between working properly. And regarding that, then today I woke up and thought like, holy shit, I got the entire day off, basically. And I was like, this is great. I can just wake up and then go play GTA and like try to focus on not work. Well,
and nope, sorry. My bad.
No, podcast.
Nah, like that didn't, like, I never got GTA 5 to start. So I was like, oh, fuck that.
Well, the thing is it seems like you still love your project, man. It's like you guys still, you know, and that's good. Is that you guys are still, it's a labor of love, and, you know, you love to hate it sometimes, and it comes through in the work, right? So.
Yeah.
So grumpy.
You can come down.
Oh, you clearing down here? All right, no problem. Sorry.
I'm gonna catch him up a little bit more, then I'm gonna start cutting again.
No problem.
But like usually, if there's, when I try to like do something else or like play some other game, you can like, sometimes you spend an entire day on an issue and you're like, get a bit annoyed that you can't fix it or whatever. And then you try to decompress by playing a AAA title, and then you get stuck on like a similar issue in their game. And you're like, oh, okay, not only us that are having issues. So yeah.
Oh, Christian, I do have to admit, my PC is enjoying the new update because it's not working as hard anymore.
Oh, nice.
I may have fried my CPU before the update.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Yeah.
More fans.
Let's see. Can we get Teddy's truck full here once the next truck comes out on the excavators? We're a little spread out here, guys.
Yeah, I went down with Grumpy to clean up a bit and then I have to come back up.
Yeah, I was just gonna try to help catch up a little bit, and I was gonna start cutting back again. Unless you want to run the excavator for a bit there, Split.
Sure. I'll jump in. I'm just kind of doking around over here. Go get a couple trucks back here by me.
Oh, Rick DC'd.
Whoa.
That's the first DC in a couple hours. We can give you a shot there, bud.
He said he's not gonna. He doesn't want to interrupt the stream trying to rejoin.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. It only deform locks for a second. Okay. Don't mind.
Oh, very
I'll be
unrelated
AFK for
question.
about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Unrelated question. What do I think about GTA 6? Well, it's going to be interesting to see how such an expensive project plays when it
Deform
finally
is
arrives.
locked.
I got him to this Grumpy White's telephone lock.
Yep.
Rusty says hello to the devs.
Hello, Rusty.
Question I saw quite a few times earlier was, I get this a lot. The mirrors.
Ooh, that's one for Christian or T-Bone.
Yeah, that's questions been asked a lot of times. Well, it isn't really the priority item. It requires a lot of work, of course, and yeah, just generally the approach we should take to make it work, really, because there is a couple options, and yeah, just need to sit down and try to figure it out, I guess, at some point.
Yeah, it's basically just never been a priority. That's the
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it kind of goes along the lines with like track IR too, right? So.
Yeah, but actually, the track IR stuff things, someone found a workaround for it, and they posted a forum thing inside our Discord server today with how they did it.
I thought they did a pretty good job at working with developers too, right? You just reach out to them.
They do it. We have all the stuff for it. It's just that it's lost somewhere in the.
Just lost somewhere on the to-do list. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the theme of the last podcast in February was time. It's not that you guys don't want to do things. It's just what's more important, when, why, and how, and where, right? So.
Yeah. And the problem is that we can't just get more people on the project either, because everything needs to make, like, if you just have a bunch of people and nobody knows who's doing what, then you don't have any progress either way. So it has to be done with some finesse as well. So yeah, we are growing as fast as we can to cover the issue of time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And on a different topic, I guess, I saw someone ask about guides or wiki page, and as some people may have seen already, we have an official out of OR wiki page, should be linked in the game. And
through your MineOS.
Yeah, and as some people may have seen, it's lacking a lot of info. So if some people have a good bunch of free time and are willing to help out, please reach out to me and we will get you an account and get content added, I guess.
Yeah, and that would be T-Bone on the Discord server.
Exactly, yeah.
We got here.
Please don't do mirrors, it might kill performance in MP. The mirrors will have to be... don't worry about that aspect, it will be covered. At least it will be... we will be able to turn them off if you feel that you don't want them. Or if they're...
Yeah, and thank you very much,
At least
Nomadic,
one
there, man. Appreciate that. Kind words, dude. Appreciate that. I Rick DC'd again. He's having internet problems.
I'm shocked that I've not had any major ping problems, to be honest.
Rick's got that internet that's like it wants to work sometimes and not others.
Seems like it's a time of day thing for him too.
Yeah. Just like to take a second here and say thank you guys, everybody who's subscribing right now. The notifications are on private, or on silent, so that way we don't interrupt with dinging and weird loud noises and things like that. So feel free if your guys' question didn't get answered to go ahead and post it in the chat again.
The long reach excavator and the crane is two separate things indeed, yeah.
But both are coming to the game.
Exactly.
I'll take a Twitch question here. Mickey says, looking to pick up this game. How are the controls? If all you have is a keyboard and mouse, it just takes a little bit of time learning whatever key set you press. Right now I'm playing keyboard and mouse, and most people don't know whether I'm playing with dual joysticks or mouse and keyboard. So no problems at all. Don't let that phase you on picking the game up. It's just a little bit more of a learning curve on the sticks or the controls and.
And the excavators and every vehicle are set up like farm sim, so you have mouse control for the booms. But some people think that keyboard controls are way better.
It really depends on what you're used to, I would say.
Yeah.
Like for me, I play direct input. No mouse controls for the excavator. So that way I can be very precise with it. Or you guys' hold and sway. So, like, the equipment doesn't just stop immediately, so I know how to time it exactly. So I can stop and let go, and everything still keeps moving for a half a second. It just takes timing, muscle memory, and things like that, but you can get just as good as dual joystick players if you have the right keyboard layout. And that is the best thing about the game, is the game has many ways to bind it to whatever's happy for you. Yeah. So I recommend all new players jump in and change their keybinds to whatever's comfortable for you. If you've already used to another game's layout, do that. You know, the beauty of the game. Also, too, the game works well on controller as well. Even just a cheapy little one from Amazon.
Yeah. And now it works with almost every controller as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just added a bunch of more buttons too, I think. And
yeah, so now the farm sticks works as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to catch you guys later on. Christian, it's been nice to talk to you again. T-Bone, nice to meet you. And the rest of you guys, I'll catch you later on.
Take it easy, Spencer.
Yeah.
See you, Spence.
See you later, Spence.
Right, Spence.
I've got something to ask. I don't know whether it was answered or not, or it was missed. Someone was saying towards the start of the stream about, when you use the water barrels to make concrete, is there a way for them not to delete the barrels and you have to refill them again?
Yeah, we'll look into that as well. Since now we are working with the water stuff.
Right. Okay. No problem.
We are aware of the issue, but it's one of those. It's also lost somewhere in the to-do list of them. Not a big enough problem to go into the priority list, but
You're good. Morgan.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw it was asked a few times, and I think it got missed. That's all.
Yeah.
How close are you to the end there, Tyler?
About 40 meters.
Alright, I need to go back and start getting me cleaned up after this fight.
10 million in dirt earned so far. That's crazy. 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Keep checking the plant as well, and the sluice boxes are about 3/4 full.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I was just saying the exact same thing in my chat about how we only sold dirt so far and got $10 million in 2 hours. Crazy.
We've constantly sending we have 11 trucks running, and you guys are barely sitting, so.
And you did empty out the sluices before we started today, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Every stream they get emptied.
Yeah, every stream we do, we empty, and I just didn't get the numbers put into the screen today. We wrote down the number. We got the numbers, but we didn't.
Yeah, about 98 million was made in the last stream.
Yeah, 98 million for sure. So we're probably already close to or more than 98 million. Any use for tailings?
Well,
Or
there
any-
aren't really uses for tailings, so no.
I mean, other than road base, that's about it. There's only a few
Yeah.
things for it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what they call chipping. They'll chip it, and then they'll turn it into, like, what's that called? It's the when they mix the asphalt and the gravel together.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few other things they can do with it.
I was kind of thinking if you really wanted to stretch it, something you could do is just have it run tailings back through like a grinder or something, and you could like produce, 10 would give you like 1 gravel or something like that, or something cheesy along those lines.
Yeah. There's, that might be one way to do it.
Menu hours don't count, Randy. Because he has 4,274 hours, and 90% of them are menu.
When you launch the game on Raspberry Pi, just leave it 24 hours.
That's a good question for chat. How many hours do you guys all have in the game?
Nearly 2,000 hours.
Nearly, what was that way, see?
Nearly 2,000 hours.
Nice.
That's a good question from Challenge Gaming. What is the biggest request for the game? The game's direction. Like, what's some of the things that? What's the number one thing you guys see the most of as the devs?
Bagger 228.
Yo.
That or trains. I think.
Yeah, personally, I am pretty excited for the trains, but yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, I was just happy with hide HUD button. I'm content.
I'm actually really looking forward to the correct fuel economy, actually. That's something I'm hyped for, which probably says more about me than anything else, but
Yeah, don't lie, Split. You also like dragging stuff in and out of your inventory.
Oh yeah. That was by far.
Well,
Yeah,
tap
yeah.
into the top of a stair too.
Oh yeah. The little things. those little things like snapping a floor tile to the top of a stair, so or
Yeah.
or hide HUD or
It's all you used to is the little things.
oh yeah, yep. The little fixes, they work. Sometimes that's what it's the craziest thing, right? You'll see a development team put so much hard work into something, and they're like the littlest thing that they change, and everybody freaks out and goes crazy over it. You're like, oh, I can imagine that's like you're like, oh man.
Oh shit. I saw a question regarding mine carts. That would actually be something. I think that's gonna come with the trains. Where we might actually do 2 sizes, so we get smaller mine carts and then bigger trains.
Yeah, that'd be cool. For the players that maybe they just want to play with just a pickaxe and a small
Super
minecart.
skill,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Your days where you dug a whole
good, Organ.
mountain with a slow pickaxe, Split.
Hey, listen, that was not by choice. That was because we only had a slow pickaxe, okay?
Oh, we can make the split special a slower pickaxe.
Oh yes, please, and community challenge for him.
You know, I had someone come back and never play ever again because the chat made him play with only the slow pickaxe. Or the slow shovel. I was like, you guys are so mean. That's so cruel. It was one of my moderators. Oh. Poor Ryan. You guys did him dirty chatting. You guys all want me to dig with spoons.
Yeah, super slow.
No, by hand. Punching bedrock to break it.
That's one that does confuse a lot of people. I've actually been seeing people thinking that the tunneler is broken because they go down and they hit the solid rock layer with their pickaxe and it produces blasted rock. So they think that it can't dig through blasted rock because they think that the solid rock layer is blasted. But really it's solid, but the pickaxe converts it to blasted in their inventory.
Oh, yeah.
So they think that the tunneler can't go through it because they think it's blasted rock already.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen that. That's actually been one that's popped up quite a bit in the chats.
Which actually the conversion of it kind of makes sense. So I'm not sure why it's that confusing for people, but
I mean, because it's not really intuitive to a new player, I guess.
well, that's true, I guess. Well, you can't see what it is on the wall.
Yeah.
You can't look at that if you don't know what it is. You see solid rock, you don't know that that's not less.
Yeah, the only way to know what it is if you got a piece from your pickaxe. Other than that, you'd have to put a drill on it and a drill head.
Yeah.
So maybe a surveyor hand tool or something. Who knows? Something like that might be able to help out with that, bridge that gap.
Yeah. Who knows what we already got cooking?
Yeah. Never know.
Does the Trustmaster TM16,000 work good for out of war? Yeah, they do. Basically, we built the game using those, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I use. They work great.
Yeah, I have them too. They do. Good intro level dual joystick setup. You're not trying to go with like the super expensive stuff.
Did we lose a few players?
I think so.
We lost Rick
Spence.
and Spence, yeah.
I'm sure they make a $20 joystick. Somebody does.
I'm currently on bucket cam, technically, is what you see me on right now. But you can play. There's focus driver, which is kind of the scoop cam, actually, to be honest. It has like more of a cinematic feel to it. Where you'll see how it sways in. That's actually called focus driver. It should be actually named focus bucket. I think if you're in, no, if you're in cab, it's just in cab, right? So,
yeah. But you have in cab, focused cam
yep.
as well.
Hey, Lacey.
Yep.
She come up here and clean this corner out. Right here underneath Tyler.
Sure thing.
I really appreciate everybody coming to hang out on their Saturday, guys. Get a little bit of info and just kind of hang out and chat about the game. And you guys are enjoying your time. Yeah. How are the trucks looking here?
Question, are the devs thinking about redoing or even ditching the tutorial? Currently it's more confusing than educational. Yeah, it's actually in the works by one of the newer guys to redo that completely. So we get one that actually works and is actually helpful. And also this time the plan is to not have it as a separate map. Since you might actually join the game as a player in a multiplayer game as well.
Devs are currently still with us here, guys. It's the person you're hearing is actually Christian there, and then they have T-Bone in the chat as well too. So how the bug reports been? They been any better lately, or?
I guess I can answer that.
Yeah.
Well, some reports are really good and some are really bad. So it's it would be really helpful if people, if it makes sense to do so, include their save games and of course the crash logs when you have had crashes in the game, because that sometimes is a bit lagging.
Yeah,
yep.
But isn't most of the bad reports bad because the issue isn't like some reports we get are or
yeah,
dirt doesn't work.
yeah, of course, yeah, but like more if you want us to understand the issue, it would be nice with some steps on how to reproduce the actual issue, so we can do it ourselves, or even a video if possible.
A report is not a complaint box, I think is what people don't understand sometimes. Like, dirt don't work. Okay, can't do really anything with that, but
yeah, like you can use it as a complaint box, but it won't actually get any better because we won't know what to fix. Like,
but generally it have been better, so in the
it's gotten massively better.
So that's nice.
Nice. So the public shaming has helped. Sweet. Awesome. Keep it up.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. So what they're saying, guys, is just make sure you guys put in your save your crashes. Sometimes the game does crash and it won't produce a report. But if you do get one, that's really helpful, and your save and a really good. If you can recreate it exactly with a little teeny video or something like that, helps out even faster. One thing I know as a tester, if you can get a video and you can walk them through it, then typically they can find it and fix it quick.
Yeah, usually if we get a proper video, we don't even have to try and reproduce the issue. We can just use that to actually fix the issue.
Yes.
Did I make a video about how to properly do a bug report to make devs not rage?
I mean, why not?
I mean, I don't even do my own bug reports anymore. That's what Grumpy's for. I've delegated those tasks to Grumpy.
He gets all the hard work.
Yeah.
I had to filter through 400 DMs a day, and we just push it off to Grumpy, and
we solved that by auto deleting everything that says Grumpy. So if the auto says Grumpy, then we just
auto hide.
It's just yeah.
I think it was funny because it was a coincidence, but we submitted this massive list and Grumpy posted it, and then all the devs just immediately went hidden on Discord. We're like, oh. What happened? Where'd they all go? And it was just the time of the day. It was just the time of the day. You guys was late your guys' time. We were like, huh?
Yeah.
It's been good. And like you said, it kind of explains a lot of things, like you're just not at that part yet, right? So
yeah. Do we have any other interesting question, or have we managed to answer most of them?
I saw one about attachable trailers. And if they will come back. And the answer is yes. But when it will happen, it's probably a bit hard to say, I guess.
I think those will be coming back when we're getting the physics more stable, because trailers need good physics to work well.
Yeah.
The same goes for cranes as well. So yeah, we'll see.
We will get there.
Yeah. XT Kissy, can you pull forward a bit? Thank you. I saw a question about I would like to have interchangeable buckets. That is something that we're going to have to improve on before we expand on that, since we have attachments for the excavators. But yeah, I'm not super happy about how that works at the moment.
One of those problem childs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like giving me flying lessons when I try and connect to them sometimes.
Yeah, they like giving everybody flying lessons. And if they aren't giving you flight lessons, they're giving you a hard time. So yeah.
Or tunneling lessons. I've had that as well.
Yeah, they are big on teaching, not big on digging, or following the excavator they're actually attached to. Works quite well in single player, but multiplayer they don't.
Yeah, you'll turn around 1 second, and the next second your bucket will be like 3 feet to the left, and you're like, I wonder if I can attach another one. Nope.
Yeah, no.
That was a little weird sometimes.
I've also had it where I've not been able to return the bucket back to my inventory.
Yeah.
Nomadic has one. I think somebody said it kind of goes along with a few questions somebody had earlier about a voxel that's not attached. Like we call them sky boogers. It's a little tiny piece of material that you just can't see. We keep running into it. About having maybe them decay over time, or if they're too far away from something, they'll just disappear.
Those, yeah. Basically, we should add something that if the islands, which they are basically a floating island, if they're tiny enough, they should just get deleted. So we don't have these flying everywhere.
Because one thing that happens in the multiplayer saves when you're playing for more than like 3 hours is if a player has a massive internet like low point, they'll start desyncing from hosts, and they'll see them, but the host doesn't see them. So they have to try to get rid of them, and sometimes they can't get rid of them. So that would be probably a kind of a helpful. It'd probably help with a lot of different aspects.
Same with trees, isn't it?
Yeah, same with the desyncing trees.
Yeah.
But overall, it's not bad. It's not too crazy. I mean, you really can learn to work around it at times. Until you get to a certain point, then you don't have any problems at all. So the further you get into a save and the further you progress, the better it is. So
yeah. Chris, I think your phone.
$600 hours since November. I think I'm nearing close to 35 or 100 or something like that myself.
I think I'm close to 16 or 17,000 hours now. On Steam, I have 266 hours.
Like I was saying the other day, that's not bad for a dev, man. Some dev teams I've tested for, they literally have less than like 100.
Yeah.
That's not too. That's actually above average for most devs.
Yeah.
Because most of the time you can just fire up an editor, right? And you just play it in there.
Yeah, either that or you just have the un-Steam version on the PC as well.
Yep.
Or the non-Steam version.
I knew that question was coming from this specific person.
I was waiting for him to comment.
Told him he was only allowed for underground stuff once a quarter. That's it. We're putting a limit on him.
Underground stuff is coming along nicely. That means it's been absolutely no progress whatsoever.
There's only one person who can ask that.
Yeah. No, but it's going good.
I think we just troll Scott and tell him that it never needs to change because it's perfect the way it is.
It's absolutely perfect the way it is.
Remember when he was you dug that tunnel on the old map, connecting the two pits, and he was there. You're doing it all wrong.
Oh, I love to troll the underground miners. Absolutely. Love them, but I gotta troll them, you know? It's just part of the deal.
Yeah.
It's cool to see. It's cool to see the community and everybody, the different play styles, right? I know we may make fun and stuff like that, but we don't mean anything by it. It's fun to see everybody playing the game in different ways and you know, really cool to see the concepts, creativity of all the players lately. And
yeah, what I was mostly surprised by was the hopper mining, which I didn't know was a thing.
Oh, you didn't know people were using the hopper to just mine and delete everything and send it through the lines?
Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact is it was such a big deal that, you know, we were talking about it in chat one day and we were like, you know, should there be like, you know, for all the guys that just love to just delete everything to make their mines and everything like that the way they want them, and they don't actually dig them, they creatively have a set of tools that you can just plop in to delete material like a nuke, but different shapes and bigger.
Ramps
And for like like inverted ramps, so you can just like place it there and it deletes all the voxel.
Yeah.
And you can just make your world the way you want it, and instead of actually using equipment. We were actually like, what was just troll and just have them put it as a had to put it as a DLC. Want to exploit DLC.
Particularly when there's if we get this issue with resolved with the limit and stuff like that, that would be great because people could actually pre-make maps for other people to play on with, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Like lately, I've been giving out these maps when they're in a certain progress, just so people can jump on and play on a preformed map already. Lots of people trying to figure out how to make like open pit mines or bench layers to work on, and
yeah, and we're gonna add some stuff to help with for those that aren't that experienced. So you actually get the shape you're sort of looking for.
Yep.
Basically,
yeah,
a more advanced GPS.
Yeah, a lot of, I mean, we've been having big discussions about the GPS, and it's like, you know, I learned to operate without GPS at all when I was doing it. Like, we were not allowed to learn when we did it, and like I had to run a D11 and everything was broken. It was pretty much just wired with duct tape and it was working, and they made it to where the pretty much it was just fried out electronics, and we literally had a duct tape bottle with water on there as a level, right? So right in front of the cab, right on the cab, here's a bottle of duct tape there with the level. So it's like, you know, I mean, but now a lot of the new equipment, all that stuff has like auto. Everything's auto. You just jump in and wiggle the sticks around, and pretty much you can dig, right? And you'll keep it'll only reach down so far, and that's what you see people asking, right? That's most people asking for is like the dozer floating the blade so they don't have to adjust it and micro adjust, and game just feels like you're operating equipment out of the 80s and 90s. In like early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Well, to me, the good thing about that is though that's where the skill's at. I mean, sorry, I mean, some people might not like this, but my opinion is GPS just takes a lot of skill out of the operator, right?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely have to learn the equipment a lot more, for sure.
And they started relying on it too much. When they lose the GPS signal, they are with their hands in their hair because they don't know what to do.
Yeah. I've actually had colleagues that did the same, which was weird considering they were old enough to have started with a shovel. They were basically older than the excavator itself, or the concept of excavators. But yeah, when they
Sounds
lost
like
GPS,
Grumpy.
they could. Yeah. But without GPS, they couldn't work anymore.
Sounds like one of the devs is from Sweden. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
And then where? I always forget. Germany? I want to say
Norway.
Norway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're mostly Swedish and Norwegian. And what else? Taiwanese, German, French.
I think French, yeah.
Did I forget anything?
Nope.
No. Good. But we're based in Sweden. Close to the Norwegian border.
Unsubscribed. You don't like Swedish people, holy.
Nah, Swedish are great. They made the Volvo.
Yeah. And Scania.
True.
Nah, Volvo better. Especially the old bricks.
What did you do with these rocks that I sent? You kicked them.
Oh no, they are in a display case, the rocks. But yeah, the Swedish import agency did not fancy the rocks that you sent, Scott.
Damn, dude, you almost got them put into like customs lockup, bro.
Well, no shit, because it said on the packet that came from Canada, which was weird already. It said rocks, and then it said 5 kilos, and then
Oh my
value
gosh.
0. And it
Oh,
was,
no.
it was
No,
basically- it had everything wrong with it. So I had to like.
They're thinking you sent them 5 pounds of rocks, dude.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Dude.
And they were like, "Why are you sending rocks over the ocean?" I'm like, "Well, it's." And I had to explain like the entire project and what we were doing, and then send them an invoice of some rock we have actually ordered in Sweden to make them believe that the value was actually 0.
Or samples would be a much better term.
Yeah, but yeah,
Anytime you use sample in import export type stuff, something like that, you're
Yeah.
much better off.
yeah.
Thought you guys were trying to navigate the get through the sending of high value materials.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I know a lot of the imports we used to do from Germany. It was just, if it was just like a one time thing or one piece thing we needed to show a customer or whatever, it was just better to say sample.
Yeah. Because I think that was the worst combo we could have picked as well. And then the 0 value wasn't something they liked either, but yeah.
Thank you, Hammy. Appreciate that, man.
Fuel.
Yeah, they do a really good job at community outreach.
you don't mind me asking, Christian, before you started like modding and making out of ore, what was it you did?
I operated forestry vehicles.
Oh, okay, cool. So I take it that's
And
what then brought on to modding, logging stuff for
yeah,
farming sim. Yeah.
yeah. And well, basically, I still have the construction and forestry company.
Oh, okay.
So we still have that as sort of a side quest thingy.
Side hustle.
Just just to keep in touch with the business, basically.
How are you on fuel?
Just thank you. I've done the refueling.
Is it an MMO? No. The simulation mining game that has multiplayer. Thank you for the fuel.
Yeah, you might want to check on sluices pretty soon too.
Yeah, we're gonna take care of it.
Filling them up already, huh? In the cement cement mixer, when the blocks has the same name, it's a bit hard to know which is which. The question there. Any chance that we get renamed on those, or I think one says cement, one says high polished, and then one says.
Yeah, that's also lost somewhere in the to-do list in the big depths of the list.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and drop a save real quick here. Thank you for the reminder, Tyler. Thank you guys all for the support and stuff like that, guys. Appreciate that. I just have the notifications turned off today, or in quiet, so that way we don't interrupt through the questions and stuff. So thank you guys very much. Same name in the blender, but different in the stores. Yep. Jacob says, any other lighting options coming out? Like updating the old style lights to put on power grid?
Yeah, we're definitely coming out with more. But basically, the short answer is more. There's more of everything coming, always. Like, it's just a question of what we get to first. Because we don't work like the other company, like the other studios, where we have a certain amount of stuff that we need to add, and then we're gonna be done with the project and move on to something else. Out of War is our main project and like the crown in what we do. So hopefully we get many more years of adding stuff to the game.
Yeah, I say it every time, man. I can't wait to see what the games will look like this time next year.
Yeah.
Because every year it's been shocking difference.
Yeah.
Well, we have almost a full storage container of gold.
Oh.
Wow.
That's almost 50 units.
Yeah. We're at 12 million, almost 13 million. Just dirt sold today. Power of like 16 players is insane when you have people digging and filling trucks. These guys have been doing a really good job. Well oiled today. Let's say thank you to all the players that came in here to play today. And sorry if we couldn't get you guys. There's just too many people that were applying today, and we kind of just spun the wheel on everybody's name and just picked the people coming in. We also have some regulars. We have to, obviously hold the spot for Christian, myself, and a couple of the other guys that help out. But yeah, it's been really cool to see the game run so well with everybody playing and move material and things like that. Right? It's awesome. So appreciate you guys' time and everything as always.
Yeah, and it's been fun coming here as well to talk a bit about the game, and it was fun that we got you, T-Bone, as well as a bit of a surprise to everybody.
Yeah, I decided in the last minute.
I was wondering. I didn't want to pressure. I didn't know if you were like super shy, or I was like, I understand now. It's cool though, man.
Have a dev showdown on Clash of Operators.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
But not today.
No.
Yeah, we'll have to do a special event day one of these times just to kick back.
Yeah.
Get it done. Currently, right now, 8 players can play on at a time on one peer-to-peer session.
And if you have any question that you want answered, just DM or send it in chat. But just be aware that since I asked for testers before, I still got a backlog of about 60 messages that I need to go through. So you won't get an answer until Monday at best.
Clash of the Operators Dev Edition. I think we could definitely arrange that. Have you done a stress test on the multiplayer? Pretty much what we're doing right now. We're at 16 right now. Okra, I think you're stuck on something, or you're... Or you lagged out.
He must have lagged out.
Yeah, we've been playing with 16 players most of the day.
So he disconnected, looks like.
Yeah. Had a little bit of a DC there.
But I got to say, it's surprisingly unnoticeable that I always get surprised when I look up from the excavator and notice that we have like a ton more, like the rest of the players playing.
Yeah, it's a constant chain. Like that's what we spent the last this last week prepping this all out so that way we could just get in here. And I know you like to run the excavator, and I was telling him, I was like, we need to get him in the bench and just let him chew. But we'll want to put him in there and so he can also answer questions too. So we just wanted to show the power of what the game could really do for players and to show people like it's getting there. It's really getting there and it's worth it. Don't sleep on this game. Like if you like digging holes and you like playing simulator games, it's there. It may not be perfectly exactly where you want it in every aspect, but just be patient.
Yeah. I saw a question about land sale or land purchases. That's coming also. So we can have
Okay, Velcro.
claims.
Somebody swap to this truck.
Let's have Chris jump into that one.
Oh, Velcro.
Yeah, I'll bring this one to Tyler and then I'll jump in that one.
I'm coming with an empty now, Christian.
Yeah.
It may not have a 288, but you should still buy it. Yep.
All right, Split. I'm out of here.
All right, bro.
It may not have the 288 yet.
Yep. Make sure you guys go over and give Kizzy on Twitch a follow, guys. Another Out of War player, plays quite frequently. Cool guy. Head him up. I said go over and support those Out of War creators, boys. Head him up, dudes.
Appreciate that.
No problem, man. Thanks for coming in and play today, dude.
Yeah,
Yep,
thanks
no
for
problem.
joining.
Thanks for having me. Nice to meet you, Chris, and happy playing with you.
Same to you.
A lot of questions about water. Lots of questions about water.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
And I'm avoiding
I
them
wonder
on
why.
purpose. Yeah.
And yep, of course, you guys know I'll be doing a video on it when it comes time. Yeah, we were kind of reminiscing through the podcast the last couple days, and we were talking about like the little weird things and discrepancies in the game's multiplayer when the tires used to fly off and kick the other players across the map, and you know, to now it's like just those fun little things and how much it's changed.
Well, not that even long ago, we had the flying trucks. That's kind of basically mostly been
In the past,
gone
almost,
now.
yeah. But we still
Very
see it.
problem.
We still see it when another vehicle is like, if I put my bucket like right here, and then a player jumps out that has a decently high ping, it'll kind of, it might cause problems.
Yeah.
Nah, I can still make trucks backflip.
Well, yeah, if you run into them and start wiggling your bucket up and down.
Yeah.
I just like driving the trucks with no wheels on. It's quite fun.
You always make me think it's bugged out when you guys do that. They take their wheels off. And I'm like, oh, it's a bug. Look, there's a bug.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're just laughing because there's no wheels. And they're being grumpy. You're like, why is that happening? We go into reporting mode all of a sudden. And
Right.
they're just over there chuckling about it. And I'm like, oh, gosh, come on, guys. I'm trying to...
Yeah. Right, I had to fix that as well.
Steal all of our wheels.
No, I don't get my T-Rex truck anymore.
You should read pink as a color too.
No.
I don't know what their infatuation is with making all the vehicles pink, but...
No, it's just me.
I can appreciate a bit of customization.
I just wonder when we'll get a true white color
Oh, yeah.
on the building.
It always comes out gray.
Yeah, yeah.
Chris, you want to go up to Christian?
I got told
That's
at the start.
actually-
Sorry, Christian, go on.
It's actually gray on purpose because the white looked so shit.
Like, did it just like
it
glow?
It looked like we have forgotten the textures. So I was like, gray it is.
Oh,
Oh,
The entire thing turned into a placeholder, and then we're like,
so you're not real sure where you want to go with it in the end. So it just kind of is what it is for the time being.
Yeah.
One of those things that'd be a good thing to lump in when you go to do like more building blocks and stuff.
Yeah. Will tracks and tires eventually make a difference other than cosmetic? Yeah, they will. They will.
Yeah, I got told at the start of the stream not to make my truck pink.
Listen, I'm trying to get footage over here, okay? There's a big stone, and I'm just trying to smash a lot of things with it, okay?
Left you an empty truck, Tyler.
thank you.
Let's get these questions in, guys. Like I said, I try to start the streams a little earlier so the guys from Europe can and over in that area can. It's not too late for you guys because we were holding them a little too late in the days. But now that the game's expanded into other markets really well, I'm trying to have these things a little earlier. So we're not just hitting, especially on the weekends too. So I appreciate you guys taking a day out of your weekend, Christian and T-Bone, to be here.
Yeah, no problem.
Just kind of sit and play the game with us. Like I said, I'm not trying to do anything too crazy and official anymore. Just a simple podcast. Just hang out and play the game. And like I said, we really do value you guys' time.
It's nice to actually sit down with a developer and have a Q&A.
Yeah.
Well, what's really fun about it is you actually get to hear what they think rather than what some corporate person has told them to say about it.
Yep.
Oh, you have no clue. We have rehearsed this for 4 weeks before we went on.
Maybe the first podcast, but
I don't buy that.
now we just wing it.
there's 4 lawyers sitting behind me. Yes.
No, you can't say that. No, you can't say this.
No.
I've actually been in that situation, and it is very annoying. So I do appreciate you guys a lot.
Yeah, no, we're not in that position.
And hopefully you guys never have to be, you know?
No, that's our aim to not be the corporate.
And that's the biggest reason why I do what I do, or try to help out any way I can with my viewership or whatever it is that we can offer, is to try to get people to grow it, to buy it, to play it, enjoy it, love it, and that way it helps out any way we can, right? That's what we do, is try to do as a community.
Yeah.
It's and like I was saying, play the game, guys. Stream the game, record it, make videos, you know, help everybody out. Talk, you know, nobody's fighting against each other here in this as far as the content creators go. Everyone just wants to play the game and have fun and play it in different ways. Support everybody. Even if you have differences between people, who cares, right? It doesn't matter. Have fun. Play the game. Mashing the like buttons.
How many people are working on the as devs? How many are we? We are we four main guys, one basically accountant / marketing, and then I think we are two part-time guys. Christian, you're gonna have to correct me on that, but I think that's
I think that sounded right. I think.
yeah.
Christian needs a truck, Teddy.
I think he's tracking down, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying.
I'm heading.
Oh,
There
you're
is another
heading-
there is
Oh.
another excavator at the other end, Christian. If you want to jump in it, there's no one in it.
Yeah, I dropped the other one, so you can
Mm.
hop to that one. I'll pick up that one you're in now.
It may not be
there's no
shown,
one
but
here waiting.
the pure amount of material we've moved out of here is it's impressive in the amount of time.
Sorry, Grumpy.
Out of the way, noob.
Maybe we'll do some other little segments too that aren't even just podcasts. Maybe we'll do maybe I'll sit down with Christian and T-Bone, and maybe we can incorporate you guys into something with the community showcases. Like I'll do all the recordings and stuff, then we can sit down and watch the video and talk about the mines real quick and just make a nice, maybe a little extended community video about it, you know, like about how you guys have seen the unique things people have been doing, and a couple little clips here and there. Something that doesn't take a lot of time, maybe like 10 minutes out of your days. You know, I think the community would like to hear your guys' feedback and stuff like that, and we'd like to do a little bit more community outreach as far as showing people's work.
Yeah. We can definitely look into that.
Yeah. I know there's been a lot of people that were really disappointed that we didn't do a community one on this one, but like I said, we didn't really have a lot of advanced planning on these things. It's generally, like I said, it's a real quick, hey, you want to do a Q&A? Christian's like, either it's sure, or I'm busy this week, or okay.
Yeah, for my part, you just asked, I said yes, and then I forgot about it until midweek, and then I said, yeah, I can do it, and then I forgot about it again until I was thinking about, well, I wonder what I'm gonna do on Saturday, and I was, oh wait, I thought, okay.
And I didn't message him till last night or this morning, and I was like, yo, that's pretty much our messages. What's up, dude? Yo, hey.
Yeah. Yeah, because you messaged me 2 hours before we went live. Or something like that.
Yup. And we've gone through quite a bit of a growing and change with the podcast and updates and reviews to betas to, you know, it's been a constant gradual progression of doing things differently and stuff like that. And hopefully the viewers are enjoying it. Just to chill in chats and things. We used to do them a little differently. They were more like a, you know, we're going to show you every little aspect of the update today. But a lot of players were like, well, how can we have good, valid questions when we don't even have the content in our hands? And that was a great point. That's why we stopped doing them before and kind of just started doing them randomly when they had time after, so you guys could have questions and stuff, right? Just made more sense to do it that way. Also, it was a lot less pressure. They're busy trying to get the patches out, the updates, and, you know.
Yeah, more time available as well.
Yeah. Also trying to find time frames that work best for everybody in the world, which is a hugely difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
So I think these have been working, like the weekends. That way people from North America already have the day off. You know, most of them do. And then people from Europe, it's not super late for them over there. It starts at roughly about 8 o'clock, I think, 8 to 9 for some of you guys. And then we only go for a couple hours, right? Until the questions kind of die down. And you know, I said nothing scripted, nothing crazy. You got to jump in the chat today. Is there anything you want to avoid, Christian? Nope. All right, let's go.
No. Yeah.
The hardest part was getting all the 16 players in here and getting everything coordinated. So.
Yeah.
Which I think we've done a good job at.
Well, hats off to Dopey.
Yeah, Dopey's been insane with the multiplayer and bringing everybody in. We've played with over, like, I think in the last 8-9 months, we played with over 200-300 new people. And yeah, she does an amazing job at making it to where we don't have to do it while we're playing. We can focus on digging and running the mine site, right? So it's crazy how many people she talks to on a daily basis. As soon as she sends those invites out, or as soon as she sends the notification out, her Discord just blows up. And
I remember when Grumpy had to do it for a few days because Dolby weren't too well.
Yeah. And Grumpy's like, don't ever make me do that ever again.
Not allowed to get sick anymore, Dopey.
She come back and Grumpy was like, oh, thank you.
I don't ever want to do that ever again. Don't make me do it. That's great. The community's been amazing. Like I said, we've met a lot of cool people from all over the world. And the amount of respect that everybody's had coming into the saves that we've been working on with these big giant projects has been very impressive. And you know, we've only had a few bad people come in and try to cause problems, but you know, it really shows that the community doesn't like that type of stuff, right? So I appreciate you guys. Like I said, your guys' time has been like everybody's time coming in and playing on these saves, because you know, 3,500 hours to 4,000 hours is what it would take me to do these projects, and now we're doing them in a matter of weeks or months, and it just shows the game in a very good scale, to be honest. And I'm proud that you guys can be a part of it and put your stamp on it. The other creators, you know, coming in and helping too, and getting you guys on your streams as well while we're playing, and helping answer questions to help the player base, and it's been good.
Yeah. But here's an interesting question. What are the devs' favorite games except for Out of War? Christian, do you want to start?
I don't really have any favorite game. I have played a lot of Counter-Strike 2. And I have played some Farm Sim, but yeah, not really into the actual gameplay there.
The problem with Farm Sim for us is that Farm Sim equals work.
Pretty much.
But otherwise, well, we obviously like Farm Sim, but it's more from a creative perspective.
Yeah.
I think for me, I think Battlefield 4 was the peak. Either that or Modern Warfare 2 when that came out.
To expand on that one then, what's your go-to chill game, not counting Out of War?
Actually, Euro Truck Simulator. I forgot about that. That's yeah, I can play that for a bunch of time. Yeah.
My go-to chill game is GTA 5.
So the question is, do you roleplay? Are you a roleplay or?
No. I just wreck as much crap as I can in the short amount of time.
Go forward.
He's got those 5 kilos of rocks in GTA RP, and he's coming for it.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have to make fun of Scott for almost sending you to jail. That's it. A new story and myth has been born.
The story of Scott and his sketchy rocks.
Yup.
Yeah.
Can we have a short? Whoa! Yeah, flyby of the drones. Sure. Yeah, one second. I almost just threw that. The dirt was not there anymore. Be careful. I gotta be careful in the. Yeah. You go drone mode for a bit. So we have actually pulled off. What is this? Our 6th strip, technically.
5th.
5th. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, starting 5th.
Yeah, starting 5th.
We've made almost 14 million in dirt, and we had to change the sluice boxes out already. this run.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Already filled up.
Well,
think you
no,
said
but I
you-
pulled a bunch of gold out, so I wouldn't have to worry about them.
Daniel says, what is most likely the next vehicle coming into the game? If you can.
Ooh, I think I have an answer to that, but I'm not gonna say something because I know it will bite me in the ass.
Spoilers.
Is it a 288?
No, it's nothing fancy. The vehicles are the next vehicles that are going to be added are most likely going to be balancing vehicles, basically more vehicles that are used or stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I just remembered another question what I've seen a few times. Not tonight, but other streams. Mini excavators, skid steers, smaller equipment.
Yeah, it's just a question of what we've managed to have time for. And this is obviously why we want marketing, modding, so we can actually allow people to add what they think is good to have.
How is the modding stuff coming along? Is that part of the reason why you're needing to rework a lot of vehicles here before too long? You said.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's one of the reasons for that. Partly modding, partly longevity of the vehicles as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question about in my chat here talking about prospecting or maybe like to locate ore, like core drilling, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's coming with the new drilling stuff.
Awesome, thank you.
Will low boys be possible? It's kind of the trailer question.
Yeah, it's low boys is one of the things where you have to really have the physics down. Otherwise, they're gonna be unusable.
It's kind of like an
yeah,
all-encompassing question with trailers versus pre-made roads, pre-made map. Like, I mean, that's, I would say that kind of all lumps together, right? Because it is kind of hard to make a road if the physics are a little weird, right? If you had a low boy and you're constantly high centering the trailer, or is it road building simulator all of a sudden, or that's something. Yeah, the direction of what you guys are going, it'll come naturally, I guess, right? The maps are different,
like
or changed, or
yeah. There isn't like a single piece of equipment that we've looked at and said like, we're not gonna add that. It's just a question of time.
Yeah, well, I think you've said it just about every Q&A. Is such and such vehicle possible? Well, yeah, anything's possible. Matter of time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm jumping off. Nice to chat with you, Christian. And I can't wait for all the new updates.
So much for his nap,
Nice.
keeping him up on the Star stream.
I'm up later than normal.
Take care, Teddy.
Take care. We're here later then.
Yeah, I'm just jumping off to chill before I do go to bed. Speak to you all later. Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
yeah, let's go ahead and get some more questions in. We don't want to keep these guys too long so they don't get too tired for their Sunday. So, if you guys have any more questions, we'll do a last little round of questions here, and it's already these streams are always like, well, we're only gonna go for about an hour. 4 hours later.
Yeah. No, but we can take a few questions and round it up. So
Yeah. Got any more questions, guys? Let's round it up so that way we can get these guys. It's getting late for them. So
will in the future tracks and wheels deform terrain? Yes, they will. They actually already do. The dozers actually already deform terrain when they drive over it.
yep. We were showing that last night. Let's see here. Did the track feed it's in the works, but the hoppers show a do I'm guessing it's in the works, but are the hoppers due to show a fill level? I think you talked about something about that, right? About the hoppers actually visibly filling up,
Yeah.
possibly in the works.
Yes. Yep. So we have some visual understanding of how full they actually are.
Squigum says, is it possible to have more than one company job going?
Not yet, but and I don't know in the future if it will be either, but I know it will be better.
Question was answered earlier there, Andy, about the anything but bigger buckets on the excavators. That was a when they get the rest of that stuff kind of worked out with the attachments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Possibly. Let's see here. Well, licenses for real company.
Yes, but that takes a lot of time, so we've basically decided to not do that until we have guys that just do that, because that takes an insane amount of time to. And usually the companies want their machines to look 100% accurate, which makes you have to spend like double the amount of time that you would spend on an excavator just to make sure all the hoses are in the correct spots and all that stuff.
Yeah, they're very finicky on perfection.
Yeah.
With little help too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like the legal bits are, yeah, it's impressive how much paperwork they can manage to scramble for.
Well, lawyers got to make sure they make money too.
Yeah, yeah, and they do.
Of course.
I'm going to lump these questions together that I saw earlier. Volvo saying, will you port it to Mac OS X, or I'll also lump in console as well?
Mac OS is absolute no, because there's no players and it's yeah, it's hell. Console, yeah, if the game keeps growing, that's yes.
Let's see here. He's fake. I don't know who that reference is, but he's just a Swedish. We just hired some Swedish guy to talk. It's not really the dev. He's fake. We just hired some Swedish guy. He just, you know.
Oh, did you mean that to Iowa?
I don't know. I just read it. Somebody's like, he's fake. I was like, oh.
Hey, Split, you want me to jump in the other excavator or just hang it out there?
Probably just let it hang out there in a second. We'll be just cleaning up here. Let's get some of these last few questions in for everybody and let
Copy
these
that.
guys get back to the rest of the day and their weekend. Let's see here. Will they add I think you mean sump pumps? When I dig and water fills in like a hole, like real life. So and that also goes to the next thing, which is water, which you're not really you know, going into detail yet, but like flowing water and water tables, yeah.
No, yeah, that's something we have to think deeply, and that's water is annoying. But yeah, we have a few ideas.
I also have that project file I can send you guys as a reference, how I handled the ground table and stuff.
Yeah, you're free to send anything.
Yeah, right now it's pretty much just how they can figure out how to make it look good and feel good to the players, right? Like a lot of things you can be very creative to make it trick the players into something, and some people it'll ruin their immersion if they see how it's built. But isn't that all video games? Once you see outside the boundaries, you're like, wait a minute, hold on here. That's like when people see underneath the map and it's just nothing. It's like, wait a minute, that's not solid. No, you're just playing on a piece of paper and it keeps moving.
Yeah.
Right. So video game development is there's a lot of really good literature out there about the art of building games with the least amount of things possible to trick the players into believing something that isn't there. Right. So it is an art form.
Yeah. It is a lot of smoke and mirrors to mimic what you're.
Yeah. And if it feels good to the players and it looks good and it doesn't cause problems, and then generally you have a winner. But those combinations are kind of hard to come up with sometimes. So
yeah.
So with sump pumps, your answer, you also told me they're making, no, never said dams are possible. We never said anything about water.
No, we talked about it would be neat if we could, but I don't think we've ever said
that goes into the hypothetical talking. We do a lot of that on these podcasts because we all love the game and we all love to talk about it hypothetically, right? So take everything with a grain of salt and time frames with a grain of salt too, right? So that's it. This isn't an official, this stuff is coming out or anything like that, right? So these are just fun, chill chat plays and hang out with the devs and ask some questions, get to talk to them, get to know them a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you could make a dam if you wanted to, but you just had to fill it in with a deco water block.
I'm not doing that anymore because I almost got demonetized for making a dam and saying damn too much.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. It was a thing. It happened.
$1 few million later.
Yeah. It happens.
On the subject of water, I think power generation via water would be kind of cool.
From a developer perspective, no, it wouldn't. But
yeah, I understand that would not be fun for you guys.
I think what everybody thinks of is when they think of water, they just want to fill up and flow, but they don't really realize how much performance that takes. And most of the videos that you see that happening in video games, it's actually just a rendering of footage in the game running very slowly, almost frame by frame in these editors. And it's actually not real time. It's actually rendered frame by frame. The engine can handle it most of the time frame by frame when it's making these things, but when you go try play in real time, nope. Like a lot of
It's a
the
trade-off as well. You can have either a lot of water or a lot of land.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at a game like Sea of Thieves, that just has a lot of water and a lot of small islands, not that much playable ground.
But that wasn't realistic
but-
water either, so.
No, but
No,
it does look good.
Yeah, but the problem here is that we have the world changes.
Yeah, and that
All
one's
the
static.
ground change. Yeah, and
the vastness
making
is
normal.
difficult.
Yeah, and like the thing with the sump pumps and the dams is that now you're starting to, if you build a dam by yourself, then you have to have the water has to have volume, because you have water in some places while you don't have it in some places.
Yep.
And now we're starting to talk.
Well, there's some interesting ways around some of that stuff that I can think of. Anyway.
Water is still one of the biggest things in development, is an issue for video games.
It's a huge issue. People don't understand.
It's a huge issue. It's a huge talking point. I mean, they have seminars with developers getting together, talking about ways to overcome it and things like that, right? Volumetric water is a huge talking point. Massive.
And most of the talk is not about how to simulate it. It's about how to fake people into thinking you've got it.
Yes.
Because simulating water on a computer is almost impossible.
It's been a nightmare for developers for years.
Yeah.
Not only for Unreal Engine, but for all engines.
Yeah. Or for simulators in general.
Yeah, I mean, if you can contain water in a certain area, it's not too bad to do. But once you start talking about big, open, free-flowing areas of water, that's almost impossible to simulate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. It'll get there. Eventually they'll come up with something and it'll work. Like, I can tell you one thing right now. My work was, I'm not a hardcore developer or coder or anything like that, but I dove very deep into dredges and things like that, and having a water plane and have the water move up and down and have buoyancy and weight buoyancy. It is an absolute nightmare. Like, it is difficult. It's extremely, like people have been trying to do it for years. There's a reason why it hasn't been done very well. So you have to trick it. You have to do it kind of generically in a sense. And that draws the question, is that okay for everybody? And is it worth their time to really dive into it at a certain level? So,
I mean, a lot of people keep bringing up Minecraft and stuff with the water flow. That system is very difficult and actually consumes a tremendous amount of resources.
Yeah.
If you look at the maps, when you start to have lots of frame lag and stuff like that with Minecraft, it's because a lot of it has to do with flowing water.
Yeah.
But then you have to factor in the amount of detail that this game has versus Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, it's there. I mean, I wouldn't want to see. As a player, personally, I wouldn't want to see Out of War be so complex on computers that only the elite computer players or owners could play it. I think that would be that would be a blunder, right? I think this game is going places, and I don't think only the elite players are the ones should be like, oh, change all this, and who cares about the people who have potato computers, you know?
Oh, normal computers.
Yeah, or just normal, or like, you know, make it accessible to people.
Exactly. Well, I mean, what's the player base, you know, of elite players for this game? Like 100? You know, it's people that have computers capable of that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure.
So at the moment, we'll see. But yeah, water is something further in the future.
Yeah, I think that I think it goes without saying that you would much rather appeal to 100,000 people than 10 or 100.
Well, yeah, but if we're talking just simulating water, then we wouldn't. Nobody would be able to.
Nobody. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, it's coming, guys. Like it just takes a long time. You know, they got a lot on their plate. I think you guys can kind of get the theme of today is that patience and understanding is a big one here, and just helping people, right? Like
Yeah.
helping the
Well,
player base, helping each other.
part of the problem with simulating something like water in a game like this, even if it's not like true simulation, is simply the fact that you have to take so many things into account, and that you want to make it sure you get it, so close to right, or it's just going to be massively rewrite. It's going to be like the dirt all over again, right? Christian, you'll be
Yeah.
constantly rewriting it again and again and again.
Then all it becomes is all your work is just dealing with the water.
Yeah.
Then nothing.
You
Then
guys
everything grinds to a halt.
You guys don't need that.
No.
Oh yeah, not at all. That slows your iteration process down, and well, see, we got a couple more, and then we'll wrap it on up and let everybody have the rest of their weekend. It's been fun. We'll try to do it again, I guess, at some point when everybody's good to go, and maybe some more content flows out here a little bit. Let everybody kind of chew on this stuff for a little bit, and
yeah.
The Hydroneer is a great example for water pipeline simulation. Solid water lake moving through a tube. Yeah, there's many ways to trick it, like you're saying. It's just they got to figure out what they're doing, and they're not really at that point yet. I think a lot of people might be getting confused. They're thinking that just because the pumps and stuff like that are coming out, that you guys are doing this whole big thing, right?
Yeah, now we're just doing the contained water, so we get flow in the pipes and all that stuff.
Yeah, which we'll be covering with some more information here on that stuff, guys. So that was just a Friday news, and then once it gets a little closer, I'll do my dive into it and let you guys know the ins and outs and go through there. So we're just waiting for a few things for them to develop and get that ready to go. So then I go into, you guys know, I'll go into my recording mode, and then we'll put the tutorials up. So. Hidden ore veins underground. I think that's the one you guys have pretty much had a. That's not going to really change too much, right?
What did you say now?
Hidden ore veins. Like underground, like nodes and.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's staying for a while. As it is at the moment. But we are developing a different version, or an upcoming version of the maps that is a few updates forward. That is a remarkable change in how the ore veins work. But yeah.
As far as the questions for the vehicles only going 6 miles uphill, don't make the grade too steep. Be in the right gear ratio and make sure you have momentum. It can also help you with that. That's how we do it here. If we have the steep grade, but the momentum for the ramps, you are going to naturally slow down. A lot of these big pieces of equipment have an extremely low gear ratio sometimes, so they only go very fast up these hills. So, are we allowed to text the team trying to answer? Oh, well, I thank the team for trying to answer all the questions, even the stupid ones. There is no stupid questions unless you're asking my wife, and she'll say they're stupid questions. That's just her. No, it's good.
We got stupid answers for you, though.
Oh, absolutely. That's one thing we are plenty of during these podcasts. Stupid answers. like I said, it's not. There's even though we have the devs here, it's not an official thing. We're just chilling. I think people need to remember that. We're just chilling, hanging out, digging holes together, and and just relaxing, right? So.
Yeah, and it's middle of the night for us, so.
Yeah. Yeah. But with saying that, guys, it's been a pleasure, Christian, T-Bone, for having you guys taking your guys' time here and answering what you guys could. If your guys' questions didn't get answered, make sure you guys head over to the NMC Discord, and there's a suggestion page over there. If you guys have any bug reports, make sure you do that. Like there's through the in-game, we'll walk you all through how to do that. Make sure you guys, like I said, put in your save file, bug report, and try to do a little bit better job on explaining what your problem is, and if you can recreate it, try to help out a little bit better, guys. And get out there and support all the out of org creators. We had a couple of them in here today. We had Kizzy, we had Velcro Gaming, and we had Oregon Trees Gaming. Thank you guys very much for coming in and playing today and broadcasting your view of the podcast. I appreciate you guys.
Oh, you're very welcome. I appreciate you too, buddy.
And yeah, we'll hassle Christian again in a couple weeks or maybe a month or so. We'll give him some time to let you guys stir up some more questions, and maybe we'll have another update here in the next little while here and there. But if there's anything you guys want to address in the game, out of the Discord's definitely the place to do it, guys. These guys do, like I said, they do an amazing job. So I think that's a bit about it. So if you guys enjoyed the stream, hit the like button, subscribe. You guys know all this stuff. I have to do the normal YouTube stuff, But yeah, that's it for us today. We were gonna play some Clash, but yeah, no problem at all, man. No problem at all. We'll have to get these guys involved in some little bit more content here and maybe rate the mines. We'll sit down and get some mine rating going on. So other than that, guys, you guys have a great evening, and once again, thank you guys very much, and catch you guys on another stream soon. Take it easy, guys.
See you later.
Night,
Night,
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah.